Hello! We are live while the boys talk about their nuggies.
Nuggies!
It's like a real in-depth conversation about chicken nuggets.
I love chicken nuggets.
Thank you for joining us today. We are on session 22, I believe we just said. That's crazy.
It's
Where does time go? I'm joined today by the boys themselves. We've got Mr. Ryan playing Madriana, Mr. Keen playing Dash. We have Mr. Rory playing Eos, not Roshi, like I keep saying. We have Mr. Busy playing Hatsu, Mr. Richard playing Slate, and John not playing Westland. We have Gusto today. I had to correct myself there. I almost said Westland. I was like,
yeah, that guy's dead.
Westo!
Worm.
Pour one out for a fallen homie.
Yeah, just all over your keyboard, like.
Yeah, oh shit! Just spilled his keyboard. Oh no! I ruined it.
All right, we are live, man. Who's doing the recap today? I don't even remember. It's Mr. Kean. You are whenever you're ready, sir. Take it away.
It's a wondrous thing, the heart. The rhythmic thump thump that we hear throughout our lives and take for granted. It can be broken, yet functional, full yet failing, filled with adrenaline but beating slow. The metaphorical and the physical intertwine, manifesting one as the other in endless tidal movement. After the heartbreak of losing Wesleyan, moments spent in his old abode filled the hearts of Madriana and Slate, witnessing his world through his eyes, through the magnificent pictures adorning his walls. Thump thump, the rhythmic beating in their hearts. As Madriana roamed the familiar halls, she paused to admire each brushstroke, each intricate detail that told a story of love, loss, and dreams unfulfilled. The sunlight filtered through the windows, illuminating the vibrant colors of Wesleyan's art, sparking warmth in her chest, despite the chill of grief. Thump thump, memories flooded back, dancing through her mind like shadows in the twilight. Meanwhile, Slate knelt by the remnants of Wesleyan sketches, fingers tracing the lines of a bird caught in mid-flight, a fleeting symbol of freedom. The weight of their shared loss pressed heavily upon him. Yet within that heaviness lay a resolve to honor his fallen friend. Thump thump, the heartbeat of a determination pulsed, intertwining with the echoes of laughter they had shared. Elsewhere, Eos sought solace within the sacred walls of Minerva's temple. Her voice rose softly, mingling with the scent of incense, seeking wisdom from Elder Wainwright. Gifts were bestowed, the hourglass and scales, tokens of a deeper connection to the goddess who watched over them. Thump thump, with each heartbeat, Eos felt the embrace of fate wrapping around her, guiding her towards a path of strength and purpose. As the days unfurled, Hatsu found moments of quiet with Ayame and Boreal, exchanging clan emblems under the vast expanse of the sky. The bonds of friendship deepened, each shared emblem a promise of loyalty and kinship. Thump thump, the rhythm of their camaraderie echoed, a heartbeat of unity amid the swirling chaos of their lives. Slate, ever the thoughtful one, honored Wesleyan's memory by planting seeds in the earth, hoping to grow trees over his grave, leaving behind a living memorial. He paused for a drink with Madriana, their shared sorrow blending with the warmth of friendship. Yet peace was fleeting, interrupted by a peculiar encounter. A red-skinned devil lounged on the couch, mischief dancing in her eyes. Thump thump, the heartbeat of surprise. In a fit of mischief, Slate transformed into the devil's form, leading to some confusion when I awoke to the sight of Slate and Eos in unfamiliar shapes. And to add to the chaos, I found Gusto unexpectedly bunking in my bed, prompting me to storm out to the beach in search of peace. Thump thump, the heartbeat of an angered heart. As time stretched on, a month slipped by, with quiet moments and whispers of sky. Madriana's magic she sought to explore, with Eos by her side, practicing to soar. I shared dreams of crowns I yearned to destroy, with ambitions entwined, a shared joy. I confided in Alyssa, reveling in the idea that Madriana shared our goal of taking down Bloodstone, that looming figure of power. Thump thump, the heartbeat of anticipation. But whispers of hidden vaults stirred my curiosity, leading me to Odium Memorius, who spoke of treasure shared in mystery. Thump thump, the pulse of adventure quickened, igniting a thrill within me, a chance to engage in cunning and stealth after too long. And then, Slate's daring plan unfolded, a masquerade, a trick to deceive Marcus Thorne, forging letters that would lead him astray. Thump thump, the heartbeat of deception throbbed, each beat a step closer to our goal. When we finally ventured into the depths of the vault, Greed's whisper beckoned, but as we reached for the shimmering treasures, consequences loomed larger than life. Thump thump, the price paid was steep. Closer to the goal, thump thump, just within reach. Thump, thump, but something's wrong. Thump, thump, the fingers grow cold. Thump, thump, the hand turns gold. Thump, thump, old Remington knows. Thump, thump, will she know? Thump, failure? Thump, no. Thump, thump, success. Thump, silence. Yet before we discover the fate of Golden Gusto and Dazzling Dash, we travel back in time to see what comes of our colleague Eos.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that was really good, man. I give you a little... I don't have like a sound effect for round of applause set up. I should. That was very good. Take your inspo. That was very good.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Let's jump in with Eos. That was crazy. Oh, unexpected at all. I had definitely the wrong theme in mind. I was like, hey, we're coming in. We're going to have all these happy vibes. And you were like, he's dead. And I was like, oh my God.
Finally!
All right. Well,
No.
with that, Eos, this is the
Yeah.
time before Golden Dash.
Oh, the time before all that ash. All right.
Tell me what you're up to, my friend.
So Eos is climbing out of her little onsen in the round tower, and she's drying herself off. Just kind of grabs her shoulder from time to time, and goes, okay, yeah, right, fine. And as she puts on her clothes, she grabs a nice cup and she heads down her stairwell to the door and out to the common room. Today begins her downtime of religious service.
Nice. Oh, cool. I believe that's still Xanathar, so we should still be okay for the same religious service. So you want to do some work in the chapel, basically in the school chapel or whatever. Get some religious sort of, religious downtime in.
Absolutely. Things she'd particularly be doing would be assisting organizing any artifacts, books, memoirs, whatever it might be. She's going to help organize things as a librarian would.
I know where there's some artifacts.
I'm going to go on a limb here and say that you're probably trying to do this in the name of Minerva. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
Learn by doing.
Learning by doing. On an off note, if anyone ever watching our stream works for D&D Beyond, bring me in. I will set up dark mode for you so that I don't have to have the fucking light of God on my my eyeballs the second I open your website. I love you guys so much, but please. All right.
And also, please remember that I decline your cookies each and every time I open that.
Nice too. Our website.
Don't worry,
doesn't
I
have that
accept them and I eat them because that's how cookies work, right?
either. Speaking of the light of God, religious service. So, yeah. So performing a religious service. Tell me a little bit about what she's actually doing to aid that. She's already busy with her schoolwork, with her studies, with her library work. So there's something extra happening here for a week. So what is that extra sauce?
Yeah, so when she's entering the chapel, she's looking for anyone she may know or remember from previously, the woman who mentioned for her to seek out Ravine. She would like to introduce her abilities, explaining that she has worked in a library all of her life. She's helping out the library here, but she wants to learn about Minerva. And the greatest way Eos would learn is by doing. And if she could help them organize their books, help in any way she can, and be present during church service, just absorb it in, that would be phenomenal.
Okay. That's no problem. Yeah, she can do that. I want to do two things with you here.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one, I want to get a religion check from you.
Okay.
This is separate to what we will have to roll. So you're going to be doing another religion check shortly.
Okay. First check
But this
coming
is
your
just
way.
something separate for me, okay?
Let's go. Okay. 19.
19. Okay. Now for the actual resolution of this, you can use either religion or persuasion, one or the other, for the resolution of your downtime.
We'll stick with religion.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, dice gods, please be kind. It is a 12.
12. Okay. So two things happen here. So firstly, that was a 19. Was it the first one?
That's right.
Okay. You learn a lot about Minerva in this time. You really listen. You really take in what needs to be said. You meet Ravine, and she teaches you what she knows about Minerva during this time as well, and often visits you while you're there in the temple. She imparts wisdom, but in the sense of somebody who learned from a set perspective. Something that is a little bit unique when it comes to, say, the gods of this world, is that it's not all, literally or figuratively set in stone. People have different opinions on how things should be done, and depending on where you go. Oh, sorry, did I hurt your feelings, Kian, by saying set in stone? I'm sorry, pal.
Set in gold.
Set in gold.
Too soon. Okay.
I'm sorry, pal. So with that in mind, her opinion of things is different to, for example, like the person that you met in Penzance.
Yeah.
So the way that it works is you take the parts of it that are important to you to build your own faith, how you feel that you should worship this person, what you think that, or this god I should say, or what you think that this god would like or not like or whatever. But you learn from these different people these things. So with a 19, you get a pretty solid idea of how Ravine sees how things should work. She sees things in a form of almost order. So whereas once it was described to you as the flow of the universe, Ravine would be more believe it to be like a system of order, something that is built upon like when something bad happens, something good will correct it eventually, like a balance to it. And like with that in mind, it takes you back to like your scales, your and your clock in a sense, but the scales mostly, that you're trying to find your balance as well. And because of that, it becomes a I guess it becomes more than knowledge. It becomes a feeling that order is where you find your balance. So trying to figure that out, and trying to figure out how to balance not just your beliefs but your life. Like you've got a lot of chaos around you, a lot of disorder. So with that in mind, it like losing Westland was a big disorder for you. And my cat has gone ape in the back. I'm so sorry. Just behind you guys in the chapel, a cat comes wandering in. Just
Oh, hey.
There's always cats in the chapel, let's be honest. Every film, there's always a cat in the chapel.
Honestly, there has to be.
Just ambiance.
Yeah.
And so sorry, that totally threw me. Sorry. So with that, trying to find your balance is hard. So with Westland and the death of Westland, there's a lot of disorder. So where do you find your balance and your order? And it starts pointing you in a direction, a place to try and question these things. Like, how do you find solace in something so unresolved for you? Because you, like, your struggle, I know you mentioned it before, sort of in passing, that you struggled with the fact that this was something you wanted to deal with, but couldn't.
Yeah, she couldn't. Yeah, that's right.
So what I need, like, what you get from this is sort of a direction. You are pulled towards the scales. Something is pulling you towards the scales.
Okay.
With your actual religious service, you got a 12. So you are basically somewhat owed one favor. And when that time comes, it can be given to you. I'm going to add an addendum to that, though.
Ooh.
It'll be given to you by someone who worships Minerva. So you don't have to just use it here. Just change the music. This is like bonkers heavy music for what we're doing. You can get this from anyone who worships Minerva. So I'll let you call in that favor down the line.
Okay.
how we do that will make it narratively fit at the time. But you are owed
Use it
one
to wish
favor.
away a disease.
No, Thiago.
Go watch Richard's metagaming to find out what that's all about. Was it Richard, you think, that talked about it, or was it actually
Yeah.
Keenan?
It was covered in both of ours, I
Both?
think. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it is it's a big favor. It can be used in any number of ways, typically by a cleric of Minerva. So if you ever need a favor from a cleric, that's probably the best way to get such a thing. Okay.
Perfect.
Sorry, I was a little long-winded there. I got distracted by our cat doing the kung fu out of the room. Yeah. What else would you like to do during some of your downtime?
Yeah, so during downtime, as Madriana mentioned previously, EOS will be actively helping out Madriana when possible.
With the flight, right? She's flying alongside you and stuff.
Yeah,
that
with the
what you
fly spells.
Sorry. I was because she was like, I'll race Eos and Ducky and stuff with the flight. So, but yeah, with spells, absolutely right. Sorry.
Yeah, so I'm going to do that whenever it is possible, when the time accompanies both of them. 100% going to help out with that. Eos's understanding of spells is very inherent within herself. So how a Madriana approaches spells, I don't actually know, but Eos would explain to it.
Violently.
When I feel like doing this is how it happens.
Yeah.
And when she casts certain spells, little stars will appear here and there under her hands, and it just happens.
Okay.
That's how EOS approaches spells at the moment.
Madriana,
That doesn't really work for me, darling. I need to understand the components of like I can't just like you. I need to, I guess, use words and stuff. Any chance you could at least help me understand?
Oh, absolutely. I'm guessing you would use a book in that situation. Is that right, Madriana?
I won't show her the pages that have been written in already, as in not from me but from Remington. But I will show you the ones that I've written in.
Okay.
And I'll show you the book.
Perfect. So when the book is present in front of EOS, she look at the words going, yes, okay, so for this, here's what you would do, and here's the order that they must happen within before said occurrence can occur.
Oh, okay. Care to practice a little?
100%, let's go.
Hit me.
oh my god.
Why?
Well, you've seen the spells yourself. I need to be able to shield myself, right?
I know, but don't want to hurt you. Can't you practice it on... There's a tree stump over there.
No, it's more of a... From what I've read of this spell, it's more that I protect myself when you attack. So I actually do need you to try and hit me.
Okay. Perfect. I'll do what I can, and she'll use Purple Flame Blade and her rapier to swing towards Madriana.
Go for it.
And bish, bosh, boom, let's go.
Oh my god.
It's a natural 20.
So, as someone make a note of that for me so that I can write it down in a minute. So as you go to do the attack, Madriana does do as you suggested for her to do this spell, as she does cast shield, but it's just not strong enough for you to not smash me in the face.
Sorry.
Did I roll your damage? Let's see if you kill me in one go.
It's gonna be crit, man. I'm sorry.
No, absolutely. I asked for this.
It's 8.
Hey, okay.
Alive.
Oh yeah.
You didn't have did you add your flame blade damage as well?
Should have done that automatically.
That's another 2d8, is it?
Oh yeah. God, I didn't do it.
Wait, no. 1d8 plus fire to the first target.
Let me just pull up the spell because I also noticed that it has a typo.
Yeah.
I
think it's 1d8.
It
Yeah.
is.
Because it's that it jumps to the
At your
second
level,
target is the
1d8,
extra.
yeah. So you can hit dash with it as well.
Oh, fantastic. So it's a 11 total damage. So
He just takes 3 extra damage from somewhere. He's like, where the fuck did that come from? So yeah, I take the damage, but The point is that when you did the attack, she did actually shield it. It just wasn't strong enough. So upon reflection of that, and after you've hit, and obviously she'll take it, you know, there'll be a wince, but you'll notice that she doesn't let on. I must say, you've definitely been practicing, Eos. It's lovely to see.
It's Hasu's work, apparently. I didn't expect that.
Oh, well, sure, that was a fine, good blow, and yes, I definitely won't forget that one, my dear.
Do I need to
She
hit you
hit her
for the
so
next
hard
one?
she turned it to dash for a second.
Yeah,
Surely good blow, sir.
but how about? Did you see what I tried to do? Was that okay, or do I need to?
She's
I
lying on the
obviously need to
floor.
work on
Was
it
that
better.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, you
Oh,
did
she took
great.
it and she stood up. She
of
took
course.
it properly.
No, you did. It's so good. The only thing I would suggest is when you're doing that, to also squint your eyes, because it is quite bright. Don't want to dazzle yourself.
Okay. Okay. I'll
can't see
keep
you.
that in
Back to
mind.
Adriana, wide-eyed as the sword came to her face.
Because I can't see if you are blinking or not through that helmet.
Yes. Okay. That's fair. That's very fair. I will say visually, the way you saw it this time was as if it was like something just swept across, and that was the shield.
Nice.
He just
say this
shattered, or she
because-
just shattered the shield.
Yeah,
Shattered through,
basically straight through the energy shield, like just fucking destroyed me.
like in Yu-Gi-Oh, when you watch someone get absolutely liquidated and like their whole presence shatters in half.
I just need to check one thing. Why does it not tell me on the sheet? It doesn't tell me how many spell slots I have.
Oh, it should be little
Should say up next to
Tabs.
spell area.
like little tabs where it says first or second usually.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
They're like bookmarks.
Yeah, thank you. So then she looks back at you and just goes, again.
Okay. And this time she's gonna do something slightly different. Ready for this one? Okay. Shows a firebolt. 12.
And she goes as if she's just gonna dodge it because she kind of knows this one's coming, like well in advance at this point. But to really test that ability, she does it again, and as she pulls it across herself as like a sweeping motion, it's like a spectral version of her wing just pulls in front of her and just covers her as if she's pulled her own wing over herself.
That's cool as hell.
I think I'm getting the hang of it a little bit.
Absolutely, Major. You're doing such good work. I didn't know you could do magic and such. It's like you were so sneaky, and now you can.
I've been watching yours and Slate's classes. It got me interested after that fight on the beach, or the sparring session we had.
Oh yeah.
That if I'm to be honest, I didn't quite like the fact that Slate was able to best me quite so easily.
He's very good at what he does. He's an excellent singer.
Apparently he's excellent at something because he definitely managed to stop me, which intrigued me as to what other things I don't know. So I started to learn them. Because if I know my enemy better, then I know how to defend better.
Knowledge is power.
Indeed. Well, I won't keep you any longer, and thank you very much for your time. I guess we'll see what other things I can come up with.
Oh hell yeah! Any questions? Anything at all? Swing by.
Maybe I'll fly by.
Good.
By the way, quite like the red on you. And then she'll walk away.
Oh.
That's it.
Nice.
Perfect.
So, with that, Rory, what else would you like to do on your downtime for EOS?
So that brings us up to pretty much, I'd say, at least 3/4 of the point.
Okay.
The only thing that will be remaining thematically for EOS is that Her visage does change when she goes past the doors up the stairs to her own tower. When she's out and about among other people, it's as shown in her image, purple on purple with grey. When she goes into the round tower, it drops, it changes. Her skin is still as it is, as is her hair, but the maroon cloak appears. The like canvas grey color for clothing her returns. Her lovely boots turn over to just leather sandals. That's how she is when she's at home.
Nice. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. When you're home, is there anything specific or special that you're doing? Is there anything that you would like to like kind of focus on in your own personal space? Because over the last few weeks, you put a lot of time into, like, once you'd seen what Westland had done with his space, like you had kind of, Rory, had put a lot of time to thinking about, oh, how would Eos actually have her space? Is there anything that you've kind of adapted, changed, or anything, or is it still quite the same?
It's still mostly the round tower, and there's that lovely fireplace going, the onsen in the center. There's this kind of crescent moon shape seat. It's like a couch. That's where she keeps her books. That's where she reads. The only change now is actually where the scales and this sand timer are. They're on this shattered window. And there's a windowsill. That's where they are now. With the scales to the right of where that sand timer is. Whenever she comes home, turns over the sand timer, sets it away, and she's waiting to find items to place among the scales.
Well, interestingly enough, that's not all that happens.
Oh no.
Oh yes. Eos, you turn the sands. You place your hand on the scales, and the scales begin to change their tipping. From back to forth to back to forth balance. Seemingly impossible. Impossible? Impossible. I can speak, I swear.
You literally just quoted Ralph. That's hilarious.
God damn it. God damn it.
Clipping that.
No.
I'm in danger.
Impossible.
That's impossible. That's impossible. So the sands, as you've got your hand on one scale and you've got your hand around the actual hourglass, the sands as they drip, each sway of the scales seems to almost sway the sands. Not a single stream down, but the beads, they flow. Until you fall unconscious. And a dream comes to life. Now we're going to do something a little bit different. Let's all sit back, relax, and watch a vision of Eos.
The hell? Oh no. Jeez.
Well, no, wasn't that interesting? Not a word out of anybody. You guys were all on cameras. Michael was just like.
So you're a warlock then? Cool.
No, he's not.
No, Ken is a warlock.
I'm the patron, motherfucker.
At what point do you just go fuck it? Just getting full cinematic production.
I know, right?
The MCU are coming in. Kevin Feige's directing.
That video will be on our YouTube tonight for anyone who wants to rewatch it.
Sick.
Yeah,
Well
that
done, man.
I felt bad actually doing that video because I was like, I can't even include Rory in his own project. Yeah, man.
Oh wow, that's
So
crazy.
Eos wakes up on the floor. Talk to me about what's going through her mind.
Yeah. She's drenched in sweat. Absolutely drenched in sweat. She is parched. She has no idea how much time has passed or anything. She's looking around. She's just grabbing the nearest bottle of water, if even as a container or whatever, and just click, 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 click. And then she runs out to the stables.
Okay.
Is Ducky there?
Ducky's there.
Okay. Gives Ducky words a big hug and a kiss, and she just hops on Ducky, and she goes galloping.
You gallop down towards the shore.
Mhm.
It's got to be like 4 or 5 a.m. There isn't
Yes, sir.
many people around. Like, how are you sort of feeling about it?
She's in panic. She's in shock. The reason she would go for Ducky is that is the closest, most personal being she has to her here presently.
Yeah.
Sense of security, sense of safety.
Yeah, Ducky's there and Ducky's with you.
Mm.
You are predominantly by yourself, but those images flashing through your mind, as I'm sure they are with you, Rory.
Yeah. Some of the images she knows, she remembers partially, if I suspect correctly, what they are representing. Some
That would
of the
be
other
up to you to tell me, because
Yeah.
I will not be answering any
I'll be
questions.
DMing you after the session saying I have ideas, but you can't answer any of them clearly.
Won't answer any questions.
Yeah. So some are presently suspected to be known, others are completely.
You can confirm with
man.
me if you want to. I can tell you if you specifically know a person, if you think you know them. That's okay. But I won't be giving you more information than what you
Yeah.
already tell me. That's what I mean. Like, so I won't be
Yeah.
breaking that down for you.
That's okay. We'll come to that in DMs afterwards. So she is concerned for one person at home. And she's given some time along the beach, watching the waves come back and forth. I haven't heard anything from home for a while. I didn't get a reply to my last letter. Mailbox won't be open for another few hours. She stops. She gets off Ducky. She takes off her shoes. She sits on the beach and she lets the tide go on her feet, back out like that for a while. And that's where we'll leave Eos for a moment.
No problem. That would bring us to Mr. Hatsu.
Hey!
Let's go with the
Welcome
happy
back.
fun vibes.
I was just preparing a letter that he's going to send.
No problem.
That's the first thing he's going to do. He's going to spend some time with Boreal and Ayame to make sure Boreal is good. While doing that, he sends another letter home, which will include the following. I sent you a whisper.
No problem.
Yeah, it's it's a little messed up in Foundry, I guess, but you will have the text.
I have it. I see it. It's okay. Yeah, thank you so much.
So after that, like I would say he would spend like 2 days with Boreal and Ayame talking about the good old days, and he would basically tell them again the founding story of the Toshitsugu clan and why certain things in their family are so important. And he would do so within the knowledge that Ayame wouldn't know a lot of that stuff, because kind of the clans, they are allies, they know each other, but they not necessarily know all the family history, because the Toshitsugu clan is a little bit older than the Fujiwara clan.
It would be, yeah.
And he would basically tell the story of certain people that have been around at a time. And he would mention Charles Handier, which was a great adventurer and explorer that had also a love for uncovering hidden treasures. And he would remind them what he had to go through to achieve certain happenings. He's really trying to encourage them after that Ayami got hit hard and what happened to Boreal. He tries to encourage him and Ayama as well to not lose their target, even if there's things that might go wrong. The important thing is to get back up and try again until you reach your goal. And he would also tell them something that they might not know. Because after he tells the tale of Charles Handier, he would also unveil that he was the father of Remington Maleficum, the very person that is running that school. And they shall not forget that he is pretty much within that spirit, and that he will always encourage us to get back up and explore and find the things which will be a treasure for you. So after these 2 days, he would focus more on his stuff and his craft. So since he has a bow and he handcrafted a quiver, he would go and find someone who could show him and help him to craft arrows. He doesn't just want to go there and takes a bunch out of the chamber, whatever. He tries to get more physical and understand more how that works. And he also thinks that, like, about smithing, he could also trying to enhance his strengths and preciseness a little bit.
Nice. So he's going to practice with his with his new bow and kind of try and get more precision, precise, accurate. What I'll get you to do then is to let's take 3 shots and see how you get on.
Okay, so he doesn't have arrows yet, right?
If he should have arrows. One sec. I believe he does. Let me have a quick look though.
Oh, the quiver is empty.
Oh, one second.
Takes on dashes. He's not using them right now.
but they're made of gold.
Oh, can I sell Dash actually? Is that
Oh, yeah.
a thing? I
Piece by
really need
piece.
some really good items.
There you go. You've got 20 arrows on you now. Sorry about that. They're not in the quiver,
Thank
though.
you.
If you put them in the quiver, they can't be taken into the bow, so you have to put them there.
Ah, okay, okay.
Put your excess in the quiver.
Okay. So, what am I shooting at? I'm just
You don't need a
randomly
target
shooting.
right now, so
Okay.
we'll just say it's at a target, but yeah.
ooh, 18.
Nice. You definitely, without issue, you release and you hit the target. It'll be tough to do better than 18. Let's see how you get on.
$17.
Damn, your accuracy is on point. Again, almost side by side with the other arrow. You absolutely nail it. Yeah. Do you want to take one more shot?
Robin Hood this stuff.
9. You learn a valuable lesson about strength when it comes to holding a bow when it snaps forward. You still get the arrow towards the target,
Can confirm.
but you learn a very valuable lesson about it. Yeah. Well, that hopefully he won't make again.
I think that is what Hashirama meant when he said, you not only have to be ready to shoot, you also have to be ready for the target to move. And he would try two things. One would be like I would argue he would collect the arrows again, and he would try to produce. He would try to get 10 more arrows, but he would try to combine his smoke bombs that he now knows how to craft with the tip of the arrow. So basically what he's trying to do is he's trying to make arrows so when they impact that they would release the smoke bomb.
How many smoke
That
bombs
makes
do you have?
sense. I have 8 now, but he would produce additional ones for that.
Sure.
I know
during the
that
downtime,
there's
I'll let him
gold
do it, so
cost for the
there is, yeah.
yeah.
Um, second.
So I would say I would spend 2 weeks to create arrows with smoke bombs worth of that time, and whatever the material cost would be.
I'll check for you now. Okay. I'll have to create that item for you a little later, but let me just check
Yeah,
what the cost is just for now. It is, so it's a silver piece per, so however many you want to make with that.
What is how many days would I spend? Like a regular day, 8 hours or more?
I think downtime crafting. Let me have a quick look for you. Crafting. To determine how many work weeks it takes to create an item, divide its gold cost piece by 50. So, like a couple days, not much. At most, a couple days.
So, yeah, he will make 10, so that will be 1 gold, right?
Yeah, that'd be 1 gold piece. Yeah.
So I mark off 1 gold. All right. So he would have produced the 10 smoke bomb arrows. And he would also replenish his shuriken.
Okay.
How much can he hold at any time?
Depends on your quiver, I think. One sec.
The shurikens?
They're smaller, but you keep them in your backpack.
Yeah.
I mean, you can keep as many as you can fit in your backpack. I don't know.
I would say he would. They are. 5 copper pieces, if I see correct.
Sorry, the shuriken.
Yeah.
Yes, they are 5 copper pieces. Yeah,
So 10 would be 5 silver, right?
correct. Yeah.
So I mark off 1 gold and give myself 5 silver.
Yeah.
He just needs to become a monk now, and then we cast haste on him, and he throws like fucking 50 of them.
Just like yeah.
He's a basically
so
human machine gun.
Yeah, basically.
inventory, I drag them up to 18. Cool. All right. So after all that jazz, he would go to see Eos.
Okay. She's crying on the beach. No, this is probably before that, I'd say.
So she would be in her dorm's room, or where would she be?
We can say she's in a dorm.
I mean, technically, it's like 2.5 weeks or something off.
You'll find her somewhere at some point, yeah. So like we'll say dorms, yeah.
Well, hello, Miss Eos. He bows like a little bit.
Hatsu. How's it?
Well, oh, she's fine. Boreal is fine too. Thanks for asking.
Good. I forgot he's with us. Jeez, yeah.
Yeah, well, how's Ducky doing?
It's good. They're treating him so nicely here. He's never been groomed so much.
Well, would you do me a favor?
Of course, anything. What you need.
I wouldn't bother asking you, but it is something that I need a little bit assistance for, and I think you might know a little bit more about how to get these things into control, maybe. Let's phrase it that way. I'm not that different than my brother in a certain way, and I need an anchor.
Oh. Okay.
But I would ask you if we could go to the woods.
Of course. Let's go.
So basically, he's taking her to the place where he had depoted the sanding stone,
Oh, yeah.
and that much area where they also did hide the dead bodies. If you remember.
You dig up a hole,
So-
it's just a face looking at you. You just put it back down. It's like they have no heads, actually, so never mind.
He would go like in that kind of area where they have buried the bodies,
Yeah.
because there's like a little opening, and he would make like a yin yang symbol with the radius of 2 meters, and he would guide you to the very middle point of it.
Oh.
And he would kind of sit down and make you sit down as well, and kind of a yogi seat position type of thing. Well, how can I explain? Let's say I had an advanced training in the jungle, and a seed was planted into my very soul. And I'm about to open this door for the first time. I just want you to hold my hands and help me to get my spirit back into this vessel, if it's the time to do that.
Atsu. I got you.
So, what you would see is that Hatsu would, like, briefly hold your hands. They would just touch. He wouldn't grab your hands. They would just touch. So basically, your hands would lay in his hands.
Yeah, like a...
And he would take a deep breath, and he would go, Mother of light, creator of shadows, send us a bee for those who are in need. And you would see that his aura, he does get like an aura, this black shiny outline that you might have seen on him before. And you feel his hands getting warmer, almost as his body is working hard like an engine that is producing something. And within that, Hatsu would close his eyes, and the first time you would see, he would reopen his eyes, and they have this reddish tone to the eyes that they had always. But now you would see, if you look him deep in the eyes, that there's something like a light ring around the black outline, which looks like when the sun is the moon is in front of the sun. It's like
Eclipse,
a sun
lunar
darkness,
eclipse,
and
yeah.
you see the eclipse like outline. His eyes would look like that, and that would look odd to you because you might have not seen this before. You have been in the dark. And you have seen people that can see really good in the dark, but that is something different you might pick up. And as you do, all of a sudden, there is just a 50-foot sphere around you and Hatsu. And everything would become pitch black. You can't see anything in this darkness.
Oh.
You would only feel the gentle touch of Hatsu's hands. Well, what do you see?
I see. Well, I actually see nothing. But I
Isn't
sense
that
myself.
Unusual for you?
Very unusual, Hatsu. This is something that I'll let you know. I can usually see quite well in the dark.
That's what I thought as well. And I don't understand why I can see you.
Oh.
I can see you. I can see everything else like it's bright day. Would you like to use this opportunity for another training?
Absolutely.
All right. Try to hit me. And as he says that, he jumps up
Yeah.
like a meter south of where he was sitting,
Oh, nice.
and he's just waiting because he can see her, right?
Yeah.
He's just looking what she is doing and how she tries to navigate herself in that new situation.
Oh,
That makes sense.
Tricky. Yeah. Okay. So, Eos will grab her rapier. She'll keep her eyes closed because she needs to focus a bit. She takes a
And
good deep breath.
As he sees her do that, he would just whistle, and he would sneak a little, like as a circle around her.
Oh, wow. Will I be rolling this with disadvantage, Eddie DM?
Yeah, you can't see anything, so it would be disadvantage.
Yeah.
I forgot I was part of this game. Yeah, no. You'd be rolling this with disadvantage.
Disadvantage for sure. Yeah, okay. So, let's go. She's going to widen her stance, lower center of weight. And then she's gonna try and pounce and attack.
Whoa!
15 with disadvantage.
Crazy. You feel like
Eos is not
You
taking shit
rape-
today, man.
your rapier.
Who gave you all steroids?
I know,
Fuck,
right?
What's in that tea?
Oh.
What about
You
steroids?
would get the
Stabroid?
feeling.
Steroids.
guys, let Hatsu go.
You would get the feeling that you almost got him because you hear like a twig goes. As you know, he would have moved away. And he would go. And he would circle you around. Like circle around you again. To kind of encourage you to try to hit him again.
What you would see at that point, Atsu, her eyes are still closed, but she's like grinning, and you can see her fanged canines just like. Right. This time she's going to practice what she remembers from Hatsu specifically. She's going to try and use her keen hearing to locate where he is. Just attack again. With an 8.
Okay, he would, at that point, he would approach her from behind, like very gently. So that you would just feel his, like, his breath when he's saying to you, just know, when you're in this shadow, I will always watch you. I will always have your back. And there's nothing to be afraid of. You're doing great, Eos. Never forget where you're coming from. And he would like snap the darkness out.
Is he still there when he does it? Or is he just gone? That'd be sick.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. He would let the darkness disappear and hide behind a tree.
Eos is just like, holy shit.
With a nat 1, so he tries.
That one is still a 6, right? He's like, Eos, he's moving over and you just see the back of his foot as he like jumps in behind the tree.
He's trying to avoid a dog
To
poo.
be fair, it's the first time he's used that, so he may not know the timing of when it goes away.
It's kind of like a Batman blueprint.
Kind of. He realizes that he was not full in cover as she looked at him. He goes, I might have to work on that as well. But I really appreciate that you did this with me, and Dome arigatou gozaimashita. It really means something to me.
Hatsu, thank you for giving me this time and teaching me this lesson. It's nice to know there is some light in the darkness.
And he would escape into the treehouse that is now 10 feet more to the east. And he would
They're forming like a
meditate about.
perimeter around like Westland's little shack.
He would meditate about his new abilities, and he would do a lot of prayers in thankfulness of what he received. And he would wait for his father's letter.
Well,
And potentially some bread from his mother. You never know.
getting to that, there is a letter for Hatsu when he goes to check. Not in response to the one you just sent, but in response to just checking in, I suppose. And it does come with 3 of Kokoro's breads.
Oh, sorry.
They have been added to your... I'll just set it to whisper for you so you can just read it. There you go. There you go. And that wasn't on stream, so you're okay. So 3 breads were added to you, and the letter to Hatsu was added as well. One final thing before you go deep into your letter, but I will give you a minute to do so shortly. On one of the nights when you're out with Ayami, and you guys are just training. She sits with you. You've taught me so much of your clan and your ways. It seems strange to think that we were once rivals. Do you miss home?
I'm looking forward to see home, to feel home, to breathe home. But as I told you, I truly believe that home is deep in our hearts. Home is what shaped us. Home is what made us. So, in a way, I don't miss anything. But in another way, I pretty much do.
I think of home every day. When I'm helping to build a house, when I'm protecting our friends, our allies, when I'm doing the jobs that I was brought here for. This guides me in every step that I take. A long time ago, our family, I was given a ring, a lineage. She takes out this sort of chain that she wears, and she shows you the ring. It represents Saigo no Toshi.
Yes, I will.
I do. It represents Saigo no Toshi in the Sakura. She goes on to explain that the way that the metal flows, first of all, the artisan who created this was absolutely phenomenal. But the way it flows represents the flow of all things. And she hands it to you. I have equipped you with Ayami's ring, the symbolic gesture of the Fujiwara clan. She explains the intricate details, why it was made the way it does and why it represents what it does, and how one day it may be useful to you. Because not all of the Fujiwara clan and the Toshitsugu clan are kin. This is something that's reflected between you and Ayami. You guys are friends and allies and compatriots and companions and whatever else you wish to be. Engaged, apparently. But the rest of the clans don't get on so well. But one day, if you're ever in trouble and you need the support of not just the Toshitsugu clan, but also the Fujiwara clan, they will offer you this ring to help you. Thank you. To help you and to, give you whatever it might be that you need at that time.
Arigatou gozaimashita. I really appreciate that ring, that symbol, that relation. There's only so much you can do if you train on your own. But I really felt that our family connection has both set us to new heights. Things we learned we couldn't have learned alone. So I thank you so much for your dedication, for your patience, and for your will of steel to make things happen for the better. And in that way, I think of home as well. When we're doing all these things to make home a better place as well, to make home safer and bring home into the next generation. And he would kind of pocket the ring in a very gentle way. And he wouldn't wear it on his fingers, because that can give you bad injuries when
Same
you do
reason she
training,
doesn't,
you know.
because if you're trying to slap
Oh,
somebody, you
no.
don't want to have a ring on your hand.
I saw some
you do.
crazy shit in my life with a ring. So basically what he would do is he would take like a strip of leather and he would kind of, the days after, he would make like a leather necklace with the ring attached so he could wear it on his neck under his clothes so nobody would see, but he would feel it the whole time.
Yeah. Where you go into using like different types of, like your throwing stars and stuff like that, where she would divulge is she's good with swords. She's very good at hand-to-hand combat, but she also uses the sai, and it's a representation of her patience as somebody with martial arts skills. It represents the different levels of how she trains. One is up close and personal. One is just a fine art with her sword, but the sai, that's the dedication. That's her ability to go between the two. And Hatsu understands that and has a respect for that. And with this ring, it's more than just a symbolic gesture. That's her version of getting up close and personal in a different way. Something that she really cares about, something that means something to not just her, but her entire lineage of family is now worn by you. So there's a sense of honor, respect, and also almost a job to keep this safe. This means more to her than anything, and she gives it to you because she trusts you more than anyone. So there's an honor and a respect there, but like I said, also almost a job, almost something that you must protect. Like, it really is that impactful, and Hatsu would know this. Nice.
Yeah, he would down before he would leave. Like a little bit deeper that he would normally do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's say to the degree he would bow in front of his father.
Nice, okay, yeah.
Or his grandparents. And yeah, I think the rest of the days he would rest a lot, because he used a lot of his energy for all that stuff, and he would get like a good rest.
Perfect. Is there anything else he wants to do during his downtime?
No, he's done.
Perfect. On that note, then, we shall move forward, if you're ready, Mr. Richard, to join Slate and see what he does in his time of down.
So there's a couple of things over the course of the month, I suppose, that I'd be looking to do. The first one is a simple one. I think because I veer away from the magical food and drink as often as possible, I think I'd like to get into a bit more of meal prep and cooking, something that I'd like to do for myself, but I'd actually like to offer it to the school in terms of if there's other students that feel the same way. So I'd like to work with the staff or whatever there to non-magically source ingredients and make meals. So it's something I'd like to take as a hobby or something, but with a view to eating more than dried rations myself, that kind of a thing, and pilfering beer. So yeah, it's a small thing, and I'd like to practice it in my own way, and maybe make a little area in the common room to the side of the hot plate or whatever, because that's where food is traditionally made thus far. And yeah, that's just a small aside, something I'm going to tip away on and something I'd like to work on.
So before you move on, you meet up with the school chef, who is somebody that both practices magic and martial cooking, will we call it? Where he uses his blade to cut up the vegetables. I'm going to call it martial. He is a very interesting man. His name is Sharkub Comus. Sharkub is someone who uses magic to cook, much in the way that Eos uses magic to make tea. He uses his abilities and his skills not just as a like sorcerer of sorts, but as a culinary expert. And he is excited by the idea because he loves physics. Slate, what are you doing for your time? No, you start, you meet this, I don't remember what was cut out, so I do apologize because that was very spontaneous. You meet a cook, and his name is Sharkub, and he actually, I think that's exactly where we stopped because it's suddenly not working. And he prepares meals with you. He starts working on, like getting actual sourced ingredients, not just from the island, but actually from outside, to try and bring them in to actually start cooking, preparing real food, and actually do something with it, That'll take a little bit of time, so we'll say that that's underway during your downtime, and towards the end of your downtime, we'll reach that point so that Slate doesn't need to just eat rations every day, all day again.
Perfect. And part of my plan of trying to cook for the school was to mean that I would have to make more dishes than I would if I was just eating for myself every odd evening. And that's the whole point of it, and people would order stuff that I didn't know how to make or wasn't sure. So it's in order to kind of try and learn more quickly, jump into the deep end type of thing. So that's just an aside. One of the things over the course of the month is there would be plenty of time that I would spend specifically with Chicken. And I would basically learn to care for him, both physically and mentally, learning his quirks, what he likes and doesn't like, where he likes to be scratched, or, all this type of stuff, walks, rubs, food, carrying him on me, all that type of thing. And I'd like to see if I can teach him a quick trick. Specifically, what I want to do is if I kneel down, teach him to jump onto my knee and then onto my shoulder to form a fur line of my hood.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so it's a way of carrying him or transporting him or having him, but he knows how to get up, basically. That's the idea. It's not for anything other than convenience and, if you will, bonding and camaraderie. That's the point of it, that I spent the month teaching him a trick and feeding him, and there was a back and forth between the two of us, and that we got to know each other and got used to each other, Yeah,
so you spend a lot of time with Chicken, trying to get everything, back to being okay. Not okay, but, in that direction. Something that feels comfortable to both of you. He's a constant reminder of Westland and that part of life, but you also have a bond, a bond with Chicken. This new albino chicken, I suppose. It's really something quite special. And it's a really cool bond. Chicken's always wearing the collar and is willing to learn tricks, but Chicken is also Chicken, so they are stealing roast chicken all the time. They don't have Westland there to say stealing's bad, so they are just on a criminal rampage. They are out there just stealing chicken from plates. They don't care. They're just out there. This is the new Chicken. This is a rebel without a cause.
I think as well, if I'm working with Sharkup doing the food prep and getting stuff ready, I would be taking handfuls in my pockets every day, and whenever I'd be meeting Chicken later, I'd be giving him bits of whatever was being made, scraps and this, that and the other. And it's a great way to train him if he's food motivated,
Yeah, food motivated is a good way of putting it. Chicken is food motivated for sure.
Yeah. There's a few other kind of small things I'd like to do. With Hatsu, Hatsu had mentioned doing the patrols, etc., and I had started doing them as well under the guise of being the security guard and taking his form.
Of course, yeah.
So presumably, if we were having interactions, we would be discussing how those patrols are going, talking about our habits, routines, the routes we take, sharing, oh, I noticed this weird noise the other night, did you hear that on Thursday, or whatever. I would imagine there would be some back and forth of information if we're doing that, and or we would bump into each other, etc. So I'd certainly like to engage Hatsu about his experiences, and sort of share mine about those and whether or not they were eventful or not, I suppose.
Okay. I suppose in that case you'd be talking to a little bit of Hatsu about that as well. But it is... I mean, the most eventful things that really happen are people who maybe break curfew or some strange things like that. Until, of course, 2 of your allies are dragged in, coated in gold. That's a bit strange.
I specifically make note of the people breaking curfew in my book, my little red book.
Okay, we'll roll some dice and pick out some names later.
So that's only a small aside. There's 1 or 2 other small asides as well. I was looking at following up with Adriana about training and kind of silvery barbs, because we'd had that interaction on the beach that time. Obviously, more recently, we had that drink and the talk about Wesleyan, etc. So over the month, I would imagine there would become a time and place where we would perhaps replicate that, especially if, we were talking and I was aware that she was taking the classes that she was practicing with EOS, etc. I think there would be another perhaps continuation of that if Adriana was willing. I think I'd definitely be interested in having a follow-up, even if it was just to blow off steam more than anything genuine, just...
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to think that then, if that was the case, that at some point, because over this time I would have imagined that Slate would have come down to what was Wesleyan's hut, now Adriana's, and probably had some more beers and stuff. So, fucking John's face, I love it. And at some point or another, we would have probably sparred and stuff, I reckon.
I think I definitely come down to check on the seedlings and the growth and the, weeding of the grave and all that type of stuff, to make sure it was all going as intended and was all right as well. So yeah, definitely would see all of that happening. Then another 1 or 2 small interactions with EOS. We had mentioned working together and talking about history, and at some point it was revealed that Slate was quite old, so that would be something I would mention to EOS and ask about the name Elias, and just mention that I don't know where to start, but I'd love to try and look at histories, family trees, anything that might dig something up, because I have no idea where to start, and EOS seems the best port of call. But moreover and more urgently, I would remind EOS that we have a book to kill.
We do.
So I think I would definitely approach EOS of an evening after the day of whatever it was, patrols, coursework, cooking, teaching chicken some tricks. I think I would go knock on EOS's door, go up, have a cup of tea, and just put the book on the table and say, this is something we need to think about, and in the coming weeks, we said we would look into it. We need to do that. We need to do what we said we were going to do.
We do. Time-wise, would that happen before or after her vision, Daddy DM?
I'll say before. I'll say the vision happens pretty close to the end of your downtime, because that's kind of where we ended. So I'd say it's before.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Yeah, Slate, look, we'll have to look at it sometime sooner than later, I guess. He didn't really give us the time, or we didn't exactly sign a pact or a contract, but realistically, we do need to solve that problem before it becomes a bigger problem.
I don't know about you, but I've never killed a magic book before, so while you're in the library, if something crosses your path about killing magic books...
I will, and I need to look into your name as well. I'll check for any dossiers or any historical records of that name specifically. It'll be easy to find because it's A first in the alphabet.
And then, while it's only a short conversation because we aim to revisit it, it's also late because in this instance it's the end of the night. I'd like to produce a bag with stuff from the kitchen with apples and carrots for Ducky.
You hero.
Done.
And then the last small interaction I want to have is with Gusto, because I presume at some point I would bump into them. And what I want to ask Gusto, wherever that may be, presumably in the common area or with the door open in Dash's room in his bed, whichever it may be, check in and basically ask him, try to get to know him, and as a part of that find out if he plays an instrument. And I want to see, he strikes me as the type of fellow who would like to drink a beer, and seeing as Weslin's not around anymore, I think that he could help me fill that spot. And if he plays an instrument, I want to find that out over a few drinks, and I want to potentially look into, from Slate's perspective, trying to get to a point where he might end up on another one of his vision quests, which has happened before when he was so impaired for whatever the reason I don't understand, but it's happened before. So the only way I can think to replicate it is do the same thing, follow Weslin's recipe, and over the month collect the mushrooms and ingredients and bits and bobs and replicate exactly what I did before, which was drinking, playing music, etc. And Gusto strikes me as somebody who would push the envelope in that respect. So I definitely look to arrange for that to happen, if not have it happen, if Gusto was so inclined. So that would be the request. I would go to Gusto and say, yeah, basically, you look like you can party, and this is lay out exactly what I want to happen. I want to see if we can push the envelope, and you seem like the man to help me do it.
Yeah, you come to the right place. Listen, I don't know if you know this or not, but let's give you a little secret. He's gonna go to the little plate. He's gonna put his hands on that plate, and just a mountain of drugs appears.
Oh my god.
Oh,
This is a
wow.
reminder that this is an over 18 stream.
Yeah, don't insult me.
He might not play an instrument, but he's always on the fiddle.
That's right.
Oh my god.
I do play instruments. It's called the skin flute and the ass trumpet.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm going to immediately step back, but ask him to play it.
On command. And if it doesn't come on command, tides of chaos to make it come on command.
But you got
It's
it.
probably like sparkly. It's like a cloud of like sparkly dust that comes up behind him because
All right, perfect.
wild magic, you know.
Yeah.
Right, so let's go find some things to go look at. Put your face in this powder. We're gonna go to space.
Done, done, and done.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, Gusto will get super blasted and
Constitution saving
hang
throw,
out
pal.
and yeah, Constitution saving throw.
I
I was
presume that's
born in the
for me, I
Constitution
presume.
saving throws.
Anyone who's doing a Constitution saving throw.
Let's go. Let's go.
I just want to point out, if they try to come to the glade and do that, and Madriana's not letting them, like they can get the fuck out.
So if my intention is to specifically lose control, can I opt to fail it and or do the thing where you go, this isn't working, have more, this isn't working, have more, this isn't, I'm not feeling it yet, and just keep going until I get that. So either or, whichever.
Sorry, that was the wrong.
Yeah.
Yep. Sorry. Apologies.
All right. You can roll with disadvantage. I'll say I need to know something. So
There we
Oh,
go.
perfect. Yep.
okay, Gusto, you handle it with gusto. Oddly enough, you are doing great. Like, this is not your first time partying on a mountain of snow. Like, you are absolutely having a blast. You know, not even a sneeze out of you. Slate, on the other hand, in recent memory, you have never encountered anything like this before, and it captivates you. You are trying to perform 5 tasks at once. You're standing in the center corner of the room on a skip rope, just like 100 miles an hour. You are alert, and yeah, you're talking faster than anyone can possibly comprehend or keep up with, because you are trying to do a lot of things. And I would say that is manifesting in strange ways with your own natural abilities as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll let you control any or all of that.
Woo!
He's not the only one albino anymore. Gusto's entire face is just.
So for the purposes of this, we'll say that no vision quest is had, but a night is had that is definitely a several day hangover that affects everything for the coming days until recovery. Yeah, I'm totally fine with that. So yeah, I think I would just push the boat out till the wee hours, rinse and repeat until can function and pass out. I can't function anymore and pass out. And
for the hair of the fox that bit you. Got it.
That's right.
Yeah, and then Slate just turns into this Puerto Rican as Chicken walks in. Say hello to my little friend.
And I neglected to mention with Dash, because this is prior, I presume, like we said, to what's happened.
Their goldenizing happened around the same time as the EOS vision. Yeah. Like that was all.
So again,
yeah.
So with that in mind, I would have bumped into Dash. My main thing there would be to relate to Dash about the book, the visions, the memories, and the journey that I'm on, but explain to him that it's been made clear to me that him and I have some kind of connection, or Palperoth has some kind of a connection to me, my past, my future, something or other, and effectively ask Dash for if we follow the same path, and kind of, if you help me, I'll help you. You want to, I think, find out more about your dad, or about, Scorchwood and this kind of stuff, and I think there might be some crossover there between us, and basically scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, and if anything comes to mind, etc.
How old are you, Slate?
I haven't a clue, but apparently old as fuck.
My mother, or people she knows, may have record of the name around Palperoth.
Was your mother a record keeper?
She was, actually. She was a bookie. That's what it was.
Bookie.
Bookie. Yeah.
They do know everybody. So you're.
They know everybody.
Yeah. They keep records of sorts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm due to send her a letter anyway. I could inquire. Actually, my old mentor, he's well connected. So Elias, you said? Surname?
I'll tell you when I find out more, and then I'm going to explain to him about my process of vision quest, which presumably he would figure out after me spending a night with Gusto and being hungover for several days. That's what I was doing if and when I did that.
That's what that was. And the spooning in my bed, was that part of that?
That's the reason I was also naked as the janitor again, but I thought that made sense.
I did think it was odd that you and Gusto went in with him, but I suppose that's, if that's how you swing, that's how you swing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that's one way of triggering certain visions, I'm sure. Just don't get hurt in the process.
Are you speaking to yourself or to them?
I think both.
I think my response to that would be just a straight up, it's the end justifies the means. Whatever I got to do to get there, I need to know.
I understand. It might not be the wisest course of action. Look, that's a bit rich coming from me, I understand, but it's easier to speak from the outside looking in.
I'll see what I could. Wisdom. That is dark.
Why are you here?
Tally-ho! Off she goes!
I swear that woman just shows up to roast me.
Fair.
Anyway, I'll send a letter home and I'll ask if the name rings a bell, and I'll let you know, I guess.
Likewise, I think I would fill Dash in on the conversation with EOS and that we're looking for family trees that go way back, or any connection, no matter how vague, tenuous, or otherwise. It doesn't make any difference. Anything that pops up, even if it doesn't seem relevant, could be, and just point out that EOS is on the case. And again, if any conversation or crossover, etc.
Wait, hold on. The book spoke to you?
I'm going to take out the book, put it on the table, and say, touch it for yourself. Or I'm going to put my hand on the book and say, or touch my hand. Either way.
You know what? Given what you've told me, I think I'll take a pass on this occasion. I'm just going to take your word for it. Magic book. That shouldn't surprise me in this place, let's be honest.
And then I'm going to say, if that makes sense, you're probably better not to touch random magical items, so probably bear that in mind for the future. Don't do that. You're probably right, and just put the book away.
That's excellent advice. I would definitely take that into consideration, unless it is very shiny and valuable. Foreshadowing.
Is it foreshadowing? Isn't it like past shadowing?
Foreshadowing, I don't know.
Foreshadowing.
And the very, very last thing I'd like to do at the end of the month for one of the evenings is to do, if I'm able to fit it with the cooking, and if not, I would drop it, is just some carousing in general, whether it's in the school or if I'm able to go to some other location, anywhere that seems interesting. Doesn't really matter where.
Cool, no worries. On your adventures, one of the things that you discover throughout your classes and stuff like that, when you're changing forms, you like to dip in and out of different classes. One that really speaks to you is a class of musical people. And in that class, there is one girl named Lyra Song reading out a poem that she wrote called Gleaming Fools. And this takes place after some events that happened last week. Two sneaky lads, both bold and brash, tried their luck with a vault-side dash. But fate had plans they didn't foresee, now gilded statues for all to see. Frozen in gold, no quick escape, their heist cut short by shiny fate. In a common room they now reside, a lesson learned, no place to hide. So heed this tale, both sly and slyer, before you chase these treasures fire. For gold may glitter, tempt and gleam, but some vaults hold more than they seem. This is about the time that you find out that it is pretty common for first years to try their hand at finding this vault. And these are not the first people to do so, and not the first people to fall under such a spell. I have added Gleaming Fools to you, which is a scroll with a poem that you may keep forever and ever. Amen.
I didn't know Remington was Dr. Zeus.
So I would definitely make copies of that, and while Dash is not in his room and Gusto is, I would point out to Gusto that he's obviously a guest and BFFs, as we know, with Dash, but that Dash loves poetry, and encourage Gusto to help me put this in as many places inside the bedroom as possible.
Gusto's technically a statue right now, but yeah, that is possible. We can do that when he comes back.
Yeah.
If he comes back.
But as long as they're like,
tell his statue form that when he gets out, he needs to help me put this up everywhere.
He put 50 copies in his statue's hand.
This is like I went on holidays once, and a friend of mine got keys to my house, went in and spent 2 weeks tinfoiling everything in a room of my house. Every single item was individually tinfoiled, like computers, pens, books, you name it. So I came home, everything was tinfoiled.
Dedication.
Yeah, I'm thinking that, but with poetry all over Dash's room, as long as it took.
Listen,
Just
will
like
help you. So you definitely have help.
Nice.
And he'll never even hear about it because while that's happening, I've taken Dash and Gusto's body downstairs and putting it in the gardens of the school so that they can be sat on by birds and stuff.
There is
And I'm also
definitely
gonna-
that, you know, like when you're in a park and you see a statue that pigeons definitely frequent. There's a towel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that towel.
Oh, there's a
that
towel.
towel is
Yeah.
definitely telling.
And just in case I can earn a few quid from it, I'm also going to put a hat in front of each of them as if they're like a living statue kind of thing, and see if anyone, you know, drops any money to them. They could be busking. Nobody knows.
Who knows? These mimes are impressive. They've been here for a fortnight.
Yeah, exactly. How much do I get from it?
Yeah, just go roll a d20. Let's see if they get anything.
Fuck it, let's go. Free money is free money.
The last thing to finish off the downtime you said was to come back to the chef to roll something.
I'll give you 10 copper pieces.
What? 10 coppers, 10 copper.
Sorry, to come back to the chef for the cooking part.
Yeah, you'd said just to come back when
So-
the month is over.
Yeah, do you have cooking equipment of some kind? I don't know if you do. Or do you have proficiency in such items?
The other thing she's tempted to do, by the way, is to chip enough gold off of Dash's jacket to pay for the 10 gold that he owes her.
Oh my god.
I don't owe you a penny.
I'm sorry, Statue
Boy,
Dash,
you're
we can't quite hear you.
Petrified. You don't know you exist. You don't hear anything. You don't see anything. You don't smell anything. Sucks to be you.
Yep. Thank you, Eos.
I don't have those tools in my inventory, but I presume if working with the chef in the school kitchens, I might have access to them on a loan basis, but I don't have them in my inventory.
Okay. How are we in the shape of proficiency for cook's tools? I don't think so, right?
I mean, I've got Jack of all trades, so I have some proficiency even in stuff that I don't have proficiency.
So I will add those to you post session or during break possibly, which we'll
Lovely.
do in a few minutes. But yeah, I'll happily give you cook's utensils that you can use in future for cooking. I would go so
Super.
far as to say, because we don't have a cook in the party, I will give you the proficiency to do so as well. As you're the person who has been fighting hardest to get actual ingredients, and that is part of what you do, I think that that part could be part of your survival. I feel like it fits your narrative quite well, and I'm happy to do so. So we'll say that it,
Amazing.
like, we'll kick it in now. I'll put it on your sheet in a minute, but for the purposes of the narrative, it's something that you learn over the course of the rest of your time at Maleficums to perfect. But we'll add your proficiency because that's just how D&D works. Congratulations, first person to earn a proficiency, possibly not the last. I like these narrative ones. These ones make me happy. That's when Rory comes in. He's like, Eos is narratively trying to become a level 3 swordsman with
No. Me.
Pirate.
baby
Space pirate.
space pirate.
Space pirate, yes.
Yeah, is there anything else? Slate then, is it?
Yeah, I'm finished. I mean, I've accomplished an awful lot. It was a busy month for me, so
It was a busy month
Yeah.
for everyone. I mean, we barely got it's taken 2 sessions nearly to get through it.
100%.
Hell yeah. In that case, I will jump to Monsieur Gusteau. Before you get on the snow mountain and before you become a statue, what are you doing for your downtime? Honestly, the snow mountain
Right.
thing encourages a lot of information about why in the first place you went down, and after seeing Dash turn into a statue was like, fuck it.
Wow, it's also a flaw. It's a very big flaw on his sheet. Doesn't think things through entirely, but he is thinking things through right now.
Oh, it just says drugs in capital letters.
It does actually just say drugs. Yeah, he has definitely 100% stolen one of these magic plates, and it is now his. But he's going to use all the other ones available.
Oh my god, can you imagine a drug dealer who can open their jacket, have 2 plates, just reach in and grab whatever?
That's what he's thinking. Dash and go. Yeah,
I forgot about that.
that's right. It's a business. So yeah, he's gonna be working on his Dash and Go business plan. He's gonna be going through all of Dash's stuff in his room, in their
You know
room.
how corporate criminals kind of put their wife's name on accounts? and their wife gets in trouble. I feel like that's what's going to happen here with Gusto. Is Dash's name is going to be everywhere, and Dash gets busted by crew. And
I'm more
do
fascinated.
anything.
I'm more fascinated by the fact that you keep waking up with Gusto in your bed, and now you compared yourself to his corporate wife. I'm interested in this plot line that you have now created.
I mean, it's all been part of the plan. Like Dash and Go. Dash is, of course, the CEO of the thing, the mastermind of the whole operation. I'm just here working for it, man. I'm just the low life, working for Dash and Go.
Dash and Go, because
not even
Dash
in
is
there.
going to jail and Gusto's gonna go. So you are.
I'm telling you, Gusto is basically every character Danny DeVito's ever played.
I mean, yeah. So anyway, I started blasting. He's going to be going through all Dash's stuff. He's going to pick out his favorite clothing articles from Dash, and he's going to start wearing them. Heavily modified, obviously, because he's half the size of Dash. He's going to have force a bunk bed situation going. As much as he loves cuddling with Dash, he knows that sometimes Dash needs Dash space, but he will have created a body waifu pillow that has Gusto's image on it, just in case Dash misses cuddling with Gusto. And then sometimes maybe it'll be Gusto and the waifu pillow at the same time, just for added fun. Follows Dash everywhere around the school, and is introducing this new business, Dash and Go, to all the students, not realizing that they can just create their own drugs too.
Yeah.
But he's going to try and turn a penny on designer drugs that he can create using this thing. So he's now going to start trying to imagine all the drugs, but all at the same time, but in one magic drug pill. And then can you maybe even take it even further? Can it be an actual magic drug pill? Tempestus be praised. Minerva's into this stuff. Want to talk to God? Here you go. I've got the solution. So he's
Oh,
gonna be
funeral director.
What? No, you got magic for that. I mean, magic solves everything. And I think that's going to be his downtime before in a drug-addled bad decision series of events turns himself into gold because he wanted to. Obviously, he's also going to be letting everyone in the school, everyone he meets, that Dash is his number one best friend, and that they're best friends forever. And Dash invited him here, and he lives with Dash, and just talk about how great Dash is to just everyone who is willing to listen or doesn't want to listen, but is not outside of vocal range of Gusto.
Absolutely.
I'd like to take Dash's form and follow Gusto about a minute behind, saying the exact opposite, saying, Gusto's my best friend. I'm never going to say it again, but I want everyone to know he's my best friend. Next time you ask me, I'm going to say it's not true, but I just want everyone to know today it is true, and so on. And then just, follow him from room to room, saying how Gusto's amazing. But I'm only going to admit it once because everyone needs to know the truth.
Yep.
And then change back to myself, disappear.
What I'll also add to that is that Dash, when you go into your room, you find that your entire bed frame is gone because he used all the wood from the bed frame to create the bunk part, and then his body pillow was made from your only pillows, and so you have no pillows and your mattress is on the ground, and then the fabric for it was created with some of the sheets, and then you come in and Gusto is dressed just like you and having cut one of your suits, like the sleeves, like a lot of the trimming off and a lot of the legs off, and he's dressed just like you in your white suit with your little tie and everything, but still has the shades and the smoke thing going, and the ash is then spilling down onto the overall fabric.
There he is.
Hi, buddy, pal, bestie. I very much appreciate the enthusiasm that you're bringing to this friendship, but do you know? Have you ever heard of boundaries?
Boundaries. It's the name of a town, I think, right? Yeah,
Ooh.
I've not been there.
No, what I mean is, I like my clothes to be mine, You know, we should get you some of your own so that you're not cutting mine up.
Oh my God, Dash, are you saying that you and me, Gusto, are going to go on a shopping spree? Oh, yeah. You are going to be like so excited to see where I'm going to take you for my contribution to the collaborative outfit that we're going to be wearing as twinsies, as best friends forever.
Not necessarily twinsies. It doesn't have to be the same. I mean, it can be similar is good. Similar is good. Doesn't have to be the same though. Because you have your whole kind of grunge style that really, really works for you. That doesn't quite work for me. So I think we should be the same.
I think it would suit you.
Listen, what the hell?
Yeah, you tell me, Lissa, like I look really good in this suit, right?
Yes, I think it was made for you.
Yeah, Dash and go.
It was.
It's a uniform. Hey, listen, I know a really good tailor in Palperoth who makes like suits like this. Actually, I should give you her number.
Gusto, I believe you're talking about my mother.
You mean our mother?
She
What?
definitely calls you daddy.
Oh my God!
You know, she did that one time, I think. I don't think she meant anything by it, or maybe she did. Oh, I don't know. Ooh, it's right.
Might just roll for attack.
On that note, we will be cutting to break now in a second, but I have to say, huge freaking thank you. What the hell is going on in chat? You guys are crazy on your end, and Shaq are like dueling for sub.
Oh, holy shit!
Sheer craziness.
Wow.
We have a massive hype train going, and just tons and tons of gifted subs. Thank you guys so much. That's crazy. On your
Fuck
end,
the
Shaq
immersion.
just-
Thanks, guys. Holy shit!
yes,
Amazing.
absolutely. Like, the reason we're going on break is purely I can't even concentrate. I'm just staring at the feed just go. That's crazy. Thank you guys so much. It really, really means a lot to all of us. We are back. Man, that was crazy. Thank you guys so much. Right. Where the hell did we just stop? We stopped at the end of downtime, I think, right? We done?
Yeah.
Gusto is now frozen in stone. Dash is now frozen in stone. Gold. Sorry, gold.
Gold.
And
Gold.
yeah, we're ready. So with that in mind, we rejoin the group a few events deep. You all find out, obviously, that Dash and Gusto have been turned to gold. The group are all together. Eos, this will be post-vision for you, but how much you want to disclose of that and talk about that is entirely up to you. I'm not obviously going to force you into your own narrative. It's whatever you want to do. But just for reference, this is now post that as well. So you've returned from your day with Ducky and trying to figure things out. That reminds me as well, there is a letter to Eos as well when you do go and check, because you mentioned earlier you're going to go check, and I was going to do that before the break, and then I completely forgot.
I know, don't worry, you're good.
As well.
You know what you should do, Rory? Roll it in chat repeatedly.
No, man, I'm not you.
That's kind of a Kean move, to be fair. And I had just you and rolling it repeatedly to chat. Why do you roll the other? When someone rolled something to chat there, they were like, "Whoops!" I was like, "Here we go." Perfect.
Oh.
So, yeah, you're all surrounding the Golden Boys.
Well, they obviously fucked around and found out. Now I think we turn them into bird statues in the gardens.
I mean, I'm happy to support everything that keeps that guy's mouth shut, I guess.
It's such a shame Dash rolled Gusto into this. Like, he just joined us. And because of Dash, now Gusto's gold as well. Like, his whole community are going to be at a loss of this.
It does sound like an awfully Dash maneuver.
I think for that reason, Gusto should get the better view in the garden.
Oh, absolutely.
Right, well,
Does
let's get moving.
anyone-
Listen tries to start dragging Dash's statue out.
There's a
does
quicker way.
Anybody
Lissa.
know how
Do you mind
that
if we
happened?
Don't know.
purposely saying nothing.
Would Hatsu actually pick on the smirk face that Slade has?
I don't even know if Slate's trying to make a face. I think that's Richard trying to make a face, to be fair. Or
Yeah,
trying
yeah,
not
I mean,
to.
but Richard is Slade, right?
I'll say no for now because Richard did just make a point of the fact that, like, he's intentionally not doing anything.
Okay. Well, Lissa, we might have to talk to Remington before we move these things.
I don't know.
I guess.
I think that if we drop it down the stairs, perhaps it'll break open.
Well,
I don't
just
think he's a money box.
we
Just for
could make
clarity,
Adriana's
has that
windows a balcony.
poem happened today? Has
I'll
that happened yet?
I'll say the poem is happening kind of nowish, so by tomorrow you'll kind of have that, just because it's part of the
Yeah.
system. We're at the tail end of downtime, so it's a little bit timey-wimey, wibbly wobbly wonder stuff. So, yeah.
Lissa, I have a question. I'm not that knowledgeable about these things.
Yeah.
When gold does break, is it gold then?
Well, it depends on how you break it, I suppose. If you melt it, we can make it into something better, something different.
You talked about throwing it from the stairs, right?
It's pretty durable. I mean, it's the
What if it hits
weakest
the
of the
student?
metals, but
I hit a student.
we'll yell, look out below. I'm not an animal.
Why not Adriana's balcony? Try 'em out the balcony.
She just turns.
I'll help
starts
you. I'll
dragging
help
it.
you. Adriana, do you mind if we use your balcony?
First of all, my balcony isn't there no longer. I believe the room was changed out.
She just turns again.
Unless you're going to hurt
Secondly, I think there's a safer way to do it. Go and ask someone for a trolley jack, and we'll just lift them and roll them down.
Ah, yes, down at the
Adriana
workshop.
invented Johnny Jacks.
Yes, down at the workshop in the robotics lab. Genius.
robotics stuff.
Yes, of course.
What?
Where they have that horse wagon named Grease Lightning.
Do you hear a weird noise coming from
Get the
Dash?
fuck out of here.
It's amazing that even in his gold form, we need to tape his mouth shut.
I
We
He
managed
gets
to
slapped
get-
even in his gold form.
I may have a way around this. We need a window that looks at the garden.
We can request for one of the windows to be done like that.
Okay, we're going to experiment specifically with Dash first.
And Madriana starts writing the note to put on the tray.
The podcast listeners, the look of disdain on Keen's face is just amazing.
Oh, Gus was fine with it. He's still smoking, you know. Like he may be a statue, but that cigarette is
It's only the
continuously
cigarette still
replenishing itself. Yep, still going, smoking.
Let's get rid of him. I mean, put them in the garden.
Okay.
So yeah, write the note, put it on the tray. Hopefully a window appears that will overlook the garden, and then we can go and put them in the window to be shat on by birds.
That's how you get your 10 copper, and they are.
Yeah, they drop the birds drop it off. The ravens do.
Yeah, 100%. In return for your gold, they just start making nests on it, and then the 10 copper gets brought in by the birds. Yeah.
Meanwhile, there's so many birds that Kian can see but can't draw, and it's just like, God damn it!
Dash is just trapped within. We had
So-
this discussion in a previous
We
campaign,
did.
and I thought it was very fascinating, and it is poignant here because I would like to actually ask the question. So, one of my players was petrified in the first campaign that I ever played. A bad run-in with some basilisks, and the question was asked.
Is
because
there
it's
ever a good running with basilisks?
yeah, the ones where
When you win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the thing that would be like sort of poignant here, or an interesting question here, is the one that was asked of me that kind of took me back. Are you conscious within this? Are you aware of your surroundings, or is this more like a coma environment where you're perpetually dreaming? So I would leave it to both Dash and Gusto to actually tell me how they feel or what they believe would be the situation here. Are you aware of your surroundings, or is this more like, like a coma state?
For me, I think if the eyes are petrified as well, then it's completely internal. Ear canals petrified, wouldn't hear anything, so it makes sense for me for it to be a coma state.
Okay.
Both.
Like, okay,
Yeah.
so
Gus
semi-lucid.
is just tripping balls while he's in there. So
He
This is
should
great.
be, yeah, he should be in a coma, but for some reason these copious amounts of drugs have just rendered him alert.
Yeah. He's both. He's just having a good time, boosting cats in, looking at the birds. He's next to his best friend. I mean, life is really good. He touched a weird magic thing, that did something. Not sure if that would turn him to gold, but it was reaching and he was reaching, and it was like that it was like an 80s music video, that's what he was feeling at that moment when they connected. Yeah.
I like that. Okay. At this point, you kind of finish your downtime. Nothing can really be done. Remington can't be found. So you reach the end of your downtime. What would you guys like to do?
So we're gone. I thought I didn't get to do the thing.
You can do what you want. There's still time. Sorry, I apologize. There's still time. You do whatever you want. I'll go back. What I meant to say was...
I must have spaced out or something because I missed
Editor, cut this straight out. What I meant to say was, Eos, what would you like to do?
Yeah, so I was going to find a way to get Dash down to the garden because we hadn't done.
Oh, yeah, okay. So you just, yeah.
that makes sense.
So the way this is actually going to happen.
Like an Acme, video from above. Like, you just watched, Wile E. Coyote fall to the ground.
So Eos looks out the window. Mariana, do you have a specific clearing you want to put him in?
And she looks around. See that clearing of trees just there, where the birds seem to be congregating naturally anyway?
Okay.
Maximum potential for shit.
All right, let's make it happen. Eos
Make a
stands
cake.
back. And she does a lot of this with her hands. And slowly stars start to form. Space and time twists around Dash as she casts Vortex Warp.
Oh.
Nice.
He appears in the shitting area.
Possibly not. I don't want to screw this up for you. Give me 1 second.
You're good.
Yeah, this is the one that we had an issue with before.
One of you is giving me a slight buzz there. Can you just check your mics, please? In the meantime, we've had this problem before, haven't we, Ryan? Yeah.
We did, yeah, this was the one. So the very specific wording of it says a willing creature.
Another creature you can see within range. The problem that you would have there is not just he was a creature, he's now an object. So as per the rules of petrification, he is no longer actually a creature, he's an object.
Shiitake mushrooms. Okay.
Technically this won't work. And so what I'll say is that you don't know that yet.
I'll delete that.
No, look, let it happen because you don't know that yet. So you cast it, you try it, but for some reason this doesn't work. This is a valuable lesson to Eos about the use of not just willing creature, but creature and objects being different. There are spells that allow you to move objects, and there are spells that allow you to do certain things.
Yeah.
But the wording of them are very, very well thought out and very, very thorough, particularly in 2024 D&D. So with that in mind, Eos has learned a lesson. This is a good teaching moment, and I like this one. This is a good one.
Okay.
Remember, a corpse is an object.
A corpse is also an object. Yeah, it's not a willing creature or a creature of any kind. Now, there is a different a definition for you about willing creatures. That means if it says willing creature, an unconscious creature can also not make that, and that's a huge burning point for some players. So,
okay.
So written consent cards in the pocket.
Yeah. No, I guess absolutely. Yeah, he's an object now.
Now.
It
I mean
doesn't-
now. Yeah, now.
It doesn't
Mhm.
clarify willing or unwilling, but noted for sure. And that's a slot that, God damn it, okay. Eos. Like, well, I'll be. Right. Where's this robotics lab?
So there is definitely a lab that is for people that are making different things. Some people, as you enter the lab, are making what appear to be what Rory would know to be a mech suit. Some people are making very beautiful and heavy armors. And some people are working on different types of, for the sakes of this, we'll call them constructs for some reason. So that's what this lab is doing, and it is very easy to get both. Ryan, remind me, what was that thing that Kev loved in C1? That like pulley thing? I can't remember what it's called. Do you remember?
Oh, pittance.
The pittance, and he had, but there was a system. There was a thing that he had. I can't remember what it was in his bag. If any of you know what that is in D&D, please tell me in chat or something. But it's
Give me a
like
second.
Pittance
I'll
and
tell you.
pulleys.
pulley.
I had it on jokes. Give me a second, and
You
I'll
did.
tell
You had it. Thank you so much as well. Yeah, thank you. But yeah, there was definitely a thing that's used for like leverage for pulling and pushing heavy things. It's like a series of sticks that are connected to pulley ropes.
Just bring Jugs over here.
Yeah. can we just get him in the campaign? I don't think the campaign is ready for his strength and AC yet.
God, imagine.
Yeah. So, but there is a mechanism for that. So for the time being, you get this nameless mechanism that we shall remember the name of probably 2 minutes after we stop streaming, and you use this in a series of pulley things and ropes to raise and lower at your discretion.
Block and tackle. A set of pulleys with a cable threaded through them to a hook to attach to objects. A block and tackle allows you to hoist up to 4 times the weight you can normally lift.
That's mad.
No. Block and tackles are cool. Also,
Block
on
and
your
tackle.
end, thank you.
Just crazy.
Is there anyone specifically skilled or who looks actually quite adept to what they're doing in this lab at the moment?
Yeah, absolutely. There would be quite a few people in here that are yeah.
My new character, Bash Find Man.
They're still petrified.
No, this is my twin brother as an artificer.
You don't get any new characters. This is your character now, so fix it or don't.
Not making another video for you, man.
Yeah, it nearly broke Rory when he found out that he might have to make a video for Gusto. So, yeah. So there are people in here who could help you. Yeah, like it depends on what you're trying to do, I guess. So you can mention it to the class that you're trying to lower your petrified friend. By now they've all heard about it. Around this time might even be when Slate finds his poem as well, for like all of that stuff, and just to kind of wrap it all together.
Okay. Is any of the rest of the gang with me, or is Eos scouting alone?
Leave that up to the gang, to be honest.
I'd be helping.
I would also be there because I spent some time previously, if you remember, I got the stinky stone and so on because I was doing some artificer stuff and
That's
I was
right, you would know
interested
this
in
group.
that. So
Yeah.
there's a crossover here, so I'd want to go anyway.
Yeah, no worries.
Maybe for Gusto, not for Dash. You know yourself.
Oh, yeah. Slate and Major, is there anyone who comes to mind who looks like they'd be willing to help us out with this situation?
Can I surveil the people and see who might be looking for a little bit more chaotic fun? Like,
Sure.
who's the most chaotic one of these artificers that might look like they'd be up for doing some shenanigans?
Yeah, so you would take a look around the group. Well, the DM opens his notes. Let's see. You would be looking for. I'd say
There's
one
not
of the
one called
fifth years.
Stolvy in here, is there?
No, there's no one called
You're
Sylvia.
never around.
What I'd like to do while you work that out, Ken, is I'd like to say to the guys, leave this with me. I got to go out of the room where nobody can see me, turn into the teacher for this class if they're not in the class, come back in and tell the students this is a group project. I'm going to do something and this better be solved when I come back. There's extra credit for whoever figures it out, etc. And then just walk out of the room and then come back in a Slate.
Perfect. Oy, oy, oy. There's just so many students in the school. Yeah, you would find Crick's red mantle.
What's her name?
Crick's
Crix.
red mantle.
Crix.
Male.
That's a cool name.
Human. Krix.
This is a year 5 though, right?
Yeah, 5th year student, I believe. Yeah.
Does he look... Don't take this the wrong way, but does he look like a nervous nerd type artificer, or is he like a confident like jock? What type of characteristic gameplay is he going for?
Okay.
Is he capable?
Yeah, they have got their hands on a big plate of armor that they're working on, and the entire metal is scorching red hot as they are heating the metal.
Right. So yeah, he's kind of a bit of a badass. Okay. I just
If
walk
Gusto
up
was
to
here,
him.
he'd like them. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. I'll walk up to him and hello. Wow. I can see you're obviously very well capable of your hands. I wonder if you might help me with something.
He just sort of nods, like as he doesn't move his hands off the metal. He's clearly busy, but yeah, like he nods towards you.
So you see, we've created some sort of I guess you'd call it like an art project. But unfortunately, we were kind of stupid enough to do it in our rooms rather than where we actually want to place it. I was just wondering, would you happen to have any equipment, any way you would know that we could actually transport this to the correct place? Quite heavy, you see.
Right.
Unfortunately, we did the heads a little bit too big.
We didn't measure twice.
Exactly, yes. That was our downfall.
We assumed, based on the character it is, he was much shorter, but with the amount of material we had, it just kept growing and growing.
Yes. Unfortunately, unlike him.
Ah, such a shame. His mother would be so sad. Oh well.
Okay, so you're asking him. Let's go back a second there. So you're asking him, does he have like the ability to help you with your art projects? You're trying to just sort of persuade him or deceive him, I suppose. So with that, I would need.
Yeah, we're trying to persuade him to help us move an art project, is what I'll go for.
Well, I'm gonna persuade you to give me a persuasion check, please.
I suppose I can argue that because of Eos's help, it was a little bit of a boost.
I was going to say, because I said I came in as the teacher, can that count as an assist and asked the class to participate and to help them with their project?
I'm gonna do what I rarely do and give you a bonus for both. So you will have advantage on the check from Eos with the help action, and you can add +5 to situational bonus from Slate's additional assistance, giving you some help.
So that's a nat 20.
You don't
For
need any of that
27.
help.
Write that down, boys.
Write that down. Okay. So yeah, he kind of stops heating the metal. He turns around. I mean, I'll help you, but for sure you're talking about those two idiots who got turned into gold this week, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then I will definitely help you. I need to meet these guys.
Tell me, how far around the school has it gone?
You know what, Slate? Maybe this is where you find the poem. This feels like a really advantageous time to find the poem. He just pulls it out of his bag and hands it to you guys. I'll say hands it to Slate. Like, yeah.
Marvelous. So, to ridicule them a little bit more, we want to put them in the gardens for the birds.
Right. just a second. So he's like cools his hands off, he flicks them and sparks just fly out. He picks up a hammer really quick and he just slaps this plate that he's been working on a few times and it bends nicely into the shape. I'll finish this later. I just needed to avail of the heat. Just a moment. So he walks across the room and he like brushes himself off and like just ash comes off him. He picks up this pulley system. He puts it on his shoulder. He picks up like a few different bits and pieces, just some pittons and ropes and stuff like that. He throws them over his shoulder. All right, let's go.
Somewhere in the universe, Solvi is very impressed.
Yeah, right. Somewhere in an alternate universe. Okay.
Oh, she can see through many worlds.
So you push through the hallways and stuff like that, and like people are watching you guys like it's weird or whatever. You realize the story may have made it further than you realized initially, and this may go down in infamy as one of the craziest things, because what you'll quickly come to learn, although possibly in the past, usually first years, generally try and do this and pull this stunt, it's generally one who gets snagged. This might be the first time historically, or at least in recent history, that two people at the exact same time get snagged doing the exact same thing. So there are questions.
I hope on the way back, when we're helping this man like move them, then that there's like, you know, where people like children like line the corridors and they're all just stand there clapping as we like roll them down the hallway.
Yeah, absolutely. Like it's like the end of the first Star Wars, or the fourth Star Wars movie, we'll say. They're all standing there getting the like the rewards and, you know, different things.
That they left Chewbacca out of.
Yeah, I was just trying to think of where the planet was, but whatever. So they were just standing there at the end, and like there's all these people clapping and stuff as they get their rewards and stuff like that. So like, yeah, you're basically going through that. Fifth movie. Anyway,
Spaceballs.
Sixth.
Yes.
First.
It's Star Wars 1, but there is one with Luke and stuff. That's just the sixth movie, right? That's when they celebrate actually just winning, right?
They made
No, the fourth movie. They celebrate whatever.
It doesn't matter.
Anyways,
Episode 4 after the Death Star's blown up.
Yeah.
So
Yes, please, right.
yeah, we put them in the gardens, set the hats up, and disappear. And then I check on them once a day just to see what coinage is in there, and that's it.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. He helps you with the play system to get them lowered, get them down, get it set up wherever you want. And as he walks off, he just chuckles to himself, like it's just funny. They're in the garden for a week when you get your 10 copper. No sign of Remington. There's Martin can't help.
I just give Eos a look like, is it time?
no. Dirty little thief. He's going to get what comes. Now, as for Gusto, though, we'll have to check in with admin. We need to find the nearest kin or something. Let them know.
It stood right next to him.
They're related? No.
Well, I mean, Dash did take guardianship over Gusto, so...
Oh, sheesh, you're right. He is familiar with Dash's mother. I guess, yeah, sure.
I mean,
Take
he's
the trees.
practically family, absolutely.
One sheet, yeah. One sheet does plenty.
Yes, it does.
Other
we're
kitchen towels are available.
We're going to see if he can release them, are we?
How's Lissa feel about it?
Well, this is a good opportunity to perhaps redecorate. You know, so that Dash has a warm welcome home.
Maybe a cold one.
You know him best, Lissa.
You know,
I'll offer my idea to taper his room and all the different poems, etc., every surface, everything, and say we should at least all do that before.
I agree. And I would also just add to that. Maybe we go to the art class and we get drawings of them depicted in these forms. And perhaps we also go to some of the classes that are responsible for making uniforms and see if they can make some nice pink fabrics to decorate the room underneath your posters. I think they would like that.
I'm going to suggest if we are doing cartoons, if there's a college newspaper or any kind of forum like that they get circulated into that too. Just, for posterity.
Something tells me that might already be done, but we can see if we can get any more added. This might be talked about for a long time here.
I'm gonna try and find a magical crafter of materials and stuff that way, and I'm also gonna ask them to do like a blanket or whatever, like crochet or whatever, of the two of them like laid side by side, but like spooning.
Oh wow!
So that we could like lay that over the bed.
That could be the pillow.
Yeah, I guess we set about decorating their little love nest, I guess.
Oh, perfect. I'll say the party, besides the two petrified. If you're interested, I would like to know your additions to the room, as it'll be a collaborative effort, and I am curious to know what their room looks like by the time they return. Should they return, of course.
Should they?
So what do you need?
So
I would say Hatsu would leave to find answers. What's going on? He's not interested in these kind of shenanigans. He's trying to get answers how that happened and shit.
Then I'll start with the shenanigans, and I'll come back to Hatsu to find answers. Perfect.
So for you,
Go ahead. Yeah, perfect.
Eos's shenanigans, she's going to
For
late at
Eos'
night.
shenanigans, it's so formal.
Late at night, she's going to let Ducky into Dash's room.
Oh my god!
She's going to, feed him the treats that Slate gave her.
Oh.
Close the door of the room and just hang out with Ducky for a few hours and let be what be.
Cooking apples are great for that, just saying.
Yeah,
So
Raw
Eos is
cooking apples,
decorating
plenty
the
of them.
floor.
with horse shit.
Horse
Plop,
apples.
plop, plop. Horse apples.
And then as the dawn rises, Eos rides on out. Happy.
Just ducks through the doorway.
And
Yeah.
closes the door behind her because that smell will
Oh.
spread.
That'll petrify you, yeah.
Yeah, that'll turn them back into stone. What about the others? So Slate, you're adding decorations with like their poem and stuff, right?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna just get as many copies of the poem as I can find, make, rewrite, or otherwise, and wrap every single surface, every single item, starting with his beloved drinks cabinet and everything inside, and working my way out. But to have more fun and to encourage everybody else, I'm going to turn into Dash and start saying things like, "Oh, marvelous! Oh, great idea!" And every time somebody does something or there's an extra horse apple, just add to it. "Oh, it's just like home, and my mother would love it," and all these kind of comments, just repeatedly egging everybody on and making them feel like it's a good thing they're doing. That Dash will love it.
Perfect. Nailed it. I actually, for a minute there, thought Keen was actually talking. And Adriana, what is it you would like to do? What is your addition?
My addition is the blanket on the bed, and then I'll get some tapestries for the rest of the room to make it look, pretty and fluffy for him.
Perfect. Okay, so you all decorate the room in different ways. So, Eos is gonna let horse dung on the floor. Are gonna get some horse dung for the floor. Slate, besides disguising yourself as Dash, you're also adding like the poetry and stuff like that. And then Adriana, you're adding the fabric, not the fabrics, the what are they called? The caricatures or something.
The bedding and tapestries
bed
and stuff.
tapestries. That's what I was looking for. Thank you.
So the tapestries are also going to be pictures depicting, like one of them's going to be them two in the garden as gold men. One of them's going to be the two of them trying to steal something and just failing, like they're tripping over each other kind of thing. And then one has to be of Dash on the beach, like rubbing suntan lotion into himself.
Yeah.
But what you don't see, or what's hidden, is actually Gusto's hands round the back of him as well, also rubbing it in.
So you're holding him akin to Ghost.
Essentially.
Yeah.
I think as well, Remington formally acknowledged Gusto, so I think obviously the school is aware, therefore the magical building is aware that they share a room. So I think things like their pigeonhole, wherever that may be, for post would be shared. I think there would be an official thing on the door that would magically be put there that couldn't be removed, saying both of them, because this has been formally recognized by the school, and this space was given to one person, now two, again formally recognized by the school. So I think the magic would recognize that, and then Gusto's name would appear on Dash's door on the way into his room and on his pigeonhole and anything like that. And I think there would be information about correspondence to their joint address, etc.
For all intents and purposes, the whole school now thinks they're a couple.
100%. I mean, they did walk through the halls proclaiming their love for each other, one after the other, during the month. So it makes sense that all of a sudden now this has happened. It just fits.
My absolute favorite part of that is that it wouldn't even be that difficult to get Gusto to just do that. So like you really just have Dash. Like you can make this work even with Gusto.
I also would like to write a love letter to Gusto from Dash and put it on Gusto's side of the bed, or his bunk bed up on his, the makeshift bit, and I'll just use loads of fancy words and try and write it, you know, as nice and neatly and look really, and I'll just use lots of big words, and it'll definitely sound like Dash. Talk about himself a little bit, say how great he is, but he thinks Gusto's just as great, that type of thing, so it's believable.
Perfect. It gets mixed up and sent to the main hall to be read aloud by the choir. No, it is, yeah, it's definitely on Gusto's.
Published in the school newspaper, you're right, that makes sense too.
It's
just to
definitely
double up.
on Gusto's
Can't be
pillow,
missed.
and Gusto's definitely a top bunk kind of guy, so it's up there.
Yep.
On their makeshift bed.
Yeah, Gusto's the top.
And just stitched into the corner of the bed it just says Mr. and Mr.
Mr. and Mr.
Yeah.
Dash and go.
Like sister, but Mr.
Mr.
No, Mr. and Mr.
I like the sister reference though. I'm in it.
Yeah.
I think as well,
Here in Tamara.
the magical bathroom area becomes a his and his, you know,
His and his.
sink, and obviously one is slightly lower than the other, obviously. You know.
Is there two toilets that face each other as well?
Oh,
like one shorter than the other one though.
They're like side by side so they can hold hands.
No, it's got to be the poodle.
oh yeah.
On that note, Hatsu, my friend, what are you up to?
Oh, he's definitely looking to find Remington to get some answers.
Remington is surprisingly elusive, so you'll have disadvantage on a investigation check for me, please.
Ooh. Oh, wait, I have to roll 2, right? That would be 15.
15. So yeah, it's difficult, man. The first day you're looking, it's just not happening. Like you check his office, you check all his usual haunts, nothing. Second day, same thing. You possibly ask Aomi or something to help you at that point. So I'm going to give you another roll, but it's not a disadvantage this time. You just have one straight roll for me.
Mm-hmm. 17.
Yeah. With that, you eventually come across him, sort of the tail end of I'll say day 3. You find Remington. Ah, Master Hatsu. How are you?
Hey, you got the voice right first time.
God damn it. Don't look at it directly, man. Not me practicing in the mirror, scaring the heck out of my wife, like.
He's
And
gone
say,
mad.
I don't want to rob your time, but you might figure out that I'm quite curious about these 2 golden boys in our dorm room. Would you mind telling me something about it?
Oh, yes. I thought it poignant to teach them a lesson. They put They set their sights on something that does not belong to them.
Hmm. How did they get there?
They attempted to follow me beneath the school into the vault. Already a place where they should not be, but that's quite alright. And they attempted to take items behind my back.
With all due to respect, as far as I know, they were encouraged to try it. Is that correct?
We encourage people to use their abilities to the best that they can, but it is for their judgment if they choose to do so and how they choose to do so.
I understand. So how long will this punishment then be?
Well, that's a little bit up to them.
So they can decide to stop it.
Yes, of course.
That is quite interesting.
You'd be surprised how long someone who feels guilty would choose to punish themselves for something. I find that to be a far more appropriate crime than anything, payment for a crime than anything that I could ever do.
So these two were caught, right? But how did they even manage to get you to open it?
I was doing something else at the time. A check of sorts. They picked their time wisely and they availed of it. Something tells me that that was not a coincidence.
So at least they improved a little bit on how to try it.
Remington stands there, like the purple skin and everything. He stands and sort of... He's a little bit serious, but he's a little bit amused as well. He has like a kind of... almost a childish grin to his face, one that you're not really used to seeing from him. He enjoys that they tried. He enjoys how far they got, and he enjoys that they're punishing themselves for it. He loves this whole process. John is kicking up a fuss over here, but he enjoys it.
Not
Well, I guess
punishing himself.
next time I encourage him to try better.
I'm sure you will have
And
to.
he bows down a little bit. And
It's important that you know, Hatsu, that they can hear you. You may speak to them if you wish. Somewhere in the subconscious, they will take the information in. It may take some time. When they are free, I would encourage your entire group to come and meet with me.
all right. Thank you so much for the lesson, Sensei. And he bows briefly and leaves back to the party. Wherever they might be, still making the room or whatever.
Mhm.
And he would go in, well, it's gonna be a long punishment, I guess. I had a quick chat with Remington and I have to talk to the statues. I know it sounds crazy, but
It does, Hatsu.
this is the only way to help them to return to their old form.
Oh, before you go, I'll make a cup of tea and I'll go with you.
Little purple slippers on.
Don't be
and a purple robe.
surprised. Don't be surprised of what I'm going to tell them, but it might sound strange. But it's what has to be done.
This whole place is a surprise after surprise. So, do you want matcha, peppermint? What would you like?
I'm gonna take the matcha.
Nice choice. Just like, travel cups.
That quick? Well, I guess I take the peppermint tea.
Okay. Matcha takes a while to prepare, to be fair.
In my family, we quite traditional with these types of teas, so
I like that this
I'm
is
sorry.
like Hatsu's little way of just dragging his feet a little bit. I like this a lot.
It is right. Actually, sometime in the future, I would love to actually visit your part of our island. I've never been that far away from the village.
You're pretty much welcome every time, yes. But
Thank you.
I have to warn you
Hmm.
that my home might also be a place where you have to hide certain features. Because many people in my village had bad experience. I think wisdom is not a shared feature amongst people.
It's sought very great difficulty, but I don't mind covering up for a while.
It's, as much as I hate it, but if you view them as childs that don't know better yet, it's a little simpler. And he would walk off to go to the statues. And he would start doing a little prayer, his usual one. And then he would go, Gusto, I know deep inside you can hear my voice booming. You did a very bad thing. You messed with the wrong person. You made the gods sad. All of them. Not one of them. You didn't try your best. You should feel ashamed. 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 You will never break free until you do better. And he repeats this like a good amount of times. And then he would go over to Dash. And he would say, Friend, deep inside, you know what to do. If you just take it for you, it will be a burden. If you take it for the good, to help people out of their misery, to make them feel better, gonna lift your heart into heaven. Why did you step out of that way? Why did you decide to take it for you? And then he turns, and he will repeat that process as long as necessary.
Gusto. Dash. Through your own ways. Be it through guilt, be it through sorrow, be it through joy and enjoyment. You find it within yourselves to understand what Hatsu's actually saying. Now, how each of your characters does that is something that I'm more than happy to discuss. Because you're both very different ends of that spectrum. Between lawful and chaotic and good and evil, there's like a very big divide between the two of you. Ultimately, you align in some key points, but you're very different in your way of thinking. But eventually you get to where Hatsu's trying to lead you. Eos, is there anything that you would like to contribute with your peppermint tea in hand and your little bunny slippers on?
Yes. When Hatsu
Fireball.
was done. No, not yet. When Hatsu is done with his prayers and he comes back and sits down with his cup of tea, Yu's sitting there with her cup, just flicks her finger towards Dash, and she's trying to cause fear within Dash.
Oh shit!
He's putting it.
God! Oh my god!
She's just putting down a little. If you fuck up again.
It
It's pretty much a threat, but I know it's a creature. But hey, here's Boss Boom. Here we are. I don't have anything that does objects apparently.
okay. What I'll say is we're at such a point of it being close to his being free that he's semi-creature. I'll give you a chance to roll. So remind me how this works.
You have to do wisdom save.
So Dash, I want a wisdom saving throw from your terrified self.
Do you want public or private?
No, you can do publicly for this one. It's okay. Because I think it'll impact Rory's behavior.
Good.
17. That would succeed. So
Yeah.
he's technically not afraid, but we'll chalk that up to partially him saving and partially the stone being the factor as well. The gold in this case.
Sure. She just whispers. If you try it again, I'll make sure you don't wake up.
Dash upset, mommy.
Because Eos takes school very seriously.
It's a school night and you pull this shit.
You get us killed or worse, expelled.
All right. I'm gonna start with Dash because I like doing this alphabetically. Talk me through your thought process. Talk me through what's going on. You've pseudo taken in what's happened over the last, we'll call it just the last week, bringing us to a full month basically. But talk to me about like what you're going through.
So if he's aware of what's going on with the moving him and the conversations that were happening around him, there's a lot of anger, like deep anger, like he hasn't felt in quite a while. And that's kind of burning inside him, probably what's holding him there more so than guilt or anything, until he hears Hatsu. And when he hears Hatsu's words, and it starts to cool him, someone has an inkling into what his intentions were. He's got the wrong end of the stick, but he's on the right path. The rest don't give a shit. They haven't bothered to try to learn. But Hatsu has. And then the comment from Eos, the attempt to cause fear would kind of be like throwing boiling water on an ice block, I guess. Where the, if you can frame it that way, rather than the gold melting, it kind of explodes off. And Dash is kind of standing there, looking down, breathing heavy, probably sweating a bit. I assume Hatsu and Eos are both there.
Yeah.
The moment he pops out, Hatsu would kind of walk towards him to kind of stop him from falling or whatever. So she basically rushes into him to hold him gently. And he kind of grabs his right arm with his right arm, but this time in a way that he would greet Ayame, like where he would touch his lower arm with his hand, so he could also touch his lower arm, like basically like this. And he would hold his shoulder and say, "You did great getting into it. But the task was to get into it, not to take something that doesn't belong to you. Don't let other people determine your desire. You smith your destiny yourself. You're not alone with this. But time for being childish is over. Do you agree?
I agree, Hatsu, and that's why I was there.
If this
I
wouldn't
wasn't.
be school, you would be dead now.
I
You
know.
that.
I figured this is the best place to make these mistakes and push these boundaries.
Don't let me borrow another friend. And he leaves.
You won't. Now, I'm gonna walk up to Eos. Stand directly in front of her. And then walk past saying nothing.
As you walk back, you can choose to stop or not. But standing along the tree line towards the back would be Lissa. A look of I want to say happiness but calm. I'm sure there is an emotional state for that. I don't know what that would be. Serenity, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
She's really glad you're okay. She knew you would be. She did her research. But she's glad that you're okay.
Did I have that feather from her?
You should do.
I don't see it in my thing.
We'll just say you do for the moment, but you should, yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna pause. Take it out. Look at it for a moment. And then drop it. And continue walking.
Okay. Gusto.
Yep.
I want to know what your psychotic little brain is doing through all of this.
Well, listen. Gusto is a wild magic sorcerer.
Yeah.
And has been turned into many things. Many things. Throughout his very short and sordid life. He's been a potted plant. He's been a purple sheep. He's been, a painting on a wall. This is new. Gold person. This is new. Guilt? Is guilt necessary to get out of this thing?
Not at all.
Yeah, there's not been an iota.
I would confer that the word would be, or sorry, I would sort of infer that the word would be acceptance rather than guilt.
Acceptance of the state of being?
Sure. Acceptance of what got you to this state of being and
I mean, could be the gods, could be wild magic, could be magic. There's no sense of guilt. There's no. He would do it again, given the chance.
no lessons learned.
Yeah, no, not really.
So he was actually only in the garden about an hour and then came out and just walked away.
I don't even think he got to the garden, man.
Yeah.
Oh no. I'm sure. He was thrilled that Dash was also in there with him, and
He just wanted a buddy.
he just wanted a buddy. So he may have just endured all of that for the lulz. Hang out with Dash because we're in this together. He's
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yep.
Don't go there.
Yep. We're best friends, and so yeah, he's going to be in prison with Dash as long as Dash is in prison.
Yeah.
He's gonna stick it out as long as Dash sticks it out. Best friends that anyone could ever have.
So you see Dash walking away, and you're like, "Fuck it," and you just walk out of the gold. Like Homer when he visits Japan and just doesn't open any doors, he just walks through everything.
Yeah, and as the gold kind of just like sheen falls off of him, which it could have happened at any point in time, flicks out a cigarette, lights it up, does some finger guns over at Hatsu, does a little sup over at Eos, and scampers after Dash.
Dash and
Hatsu
go.
would shove a
my
little
God.
between him and Dash. And he would speak directly to Gusto.
Oh, you've upset
You
Daddy.
know that you are a guest in this house, right?
Oh yeah, I'm his guest.
You know he vouches for you, right?
Just what?
He vouches for you. Your doings are his doings.
Yeah, we're in it together. Thick and thin, dash and go. Hey, you want anything? I've got some, like whatever you want. He opens up his coat.
You know what these people do here with people that steal a lot?
Turn him to gold.
They cut their hands.
Oh shit. Well, I haven't seen anyone else without any hands in here.
Not yet, I guess.
Oh, well, fuck. Tell you what. Let's go find the people who ain't got hands, but first, I gotta check up on my boy Dash, because you guys are
What I'm
good
trying to
friends.
say, you are welcome here. You should feel home here.
Oh yeah, I do.
Fair enough.
Do you rub your own household?
Do I what?
Yeah, do you rub your own cups and cloth?
Listen, my own house
watches?
doesn't have a magic vault or whatever. Besides,
No,
you
it
asking
has.
Dash? Is that Dash's? Like, I mean, I thought it was up for free for grabs. We were doing a thing. It was
Well-
a whole thing.
Unfortunately, he also had a test that he didn't pass. So you didn't pass as well.
Oh shit, that was a test.
Oh,
wait, is this a school?
So, if you still want to cuddle in future, I would highly recommend you don't steal anymore. Because you can't hug someone without hands, right?
You know, I'm gonna have to see a handbook real quick. Is there a curriculum or like? I'll get back with you. Cigarette?
You find Gusto, just don't lose your head.
Fuck, they take your head too.
He walks off.
Oh man.
What do they not? Did they take your head if they don't study? What? Why would they take your head? Fuck.
Cat. Fucking cat, man.
This is school. Fuck's sake.
Oh man.
Man, you guys gotta be better friends, all right? Better friends.
Holy
You know who's a
shit.
good friend? Gusto. Gusto's a good friend. Dash! He's gonna go scampering after Dash.
Seeing Dash drop the feather near Alyssa, Eos is going to use her Scott on Va and just poof right next to Alyssa and offer her shoulder, effectively.
You're just gonna stand there just shaking it to her.
Give me your attention.
He doesn't want, yeah, but I did.
Making sure she's okay, effectively.
Yeah.
Yeah. How did you know, Ryan? How did you know these things?
I know your characters.
Get out of my mid-journey, damn it. How dare you?
Yeah, there's some fantasy fic in there, I'm telling you.
He's such an idiot. I understand his frustration. But I don't think he questions why we were at such ease about this whole situation. He feels betrayed and hurt. But never once did he consider that he was safe and protected. He'll figure it out.
How long have you known him?
We encountered each other on a job a long time ago. And I'll never admit it, but I think he let me win that day. He's good competition. He's a great friend. His family have always been nice to me. But I was...
Is he always blinded by his own pride?
Oh, his ego is amazing. You couldn't fit it in this entire castle.
But this was a lesson. He learned the failings by his own fingers.
Why do you think that he failed?
The challenge was too high.
No, yes. Why do you think that this was a failure? He did exactly as he was meant to do.
Do you think he thinks he won?
I think he thinks he failed. But he didn't. In no part did he fail at this at all. He has now proven to Remington without a shadow of a doubt that he can do it. What only a handful of people ever managed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Historically, the school rewards the people that they can count on the most. If anything, it's going to lead to advantageous opportunities to test the school's security, push it to its limits. He's going to help us advance this school to something far superior than what it was when we walked through the door just a few months ago. If anything, this is going to open doors for him, not close them. You saw Remington. He's not frustrated. He's not angered. He's proud. Dash did not fail. He did exactly as he was meant to do. How did you get the horse upstairs? It really... it's quite remarkable.
At that moment, you'll hear.
Don't worry, I know that it's a good swamp, all right? We can take it to a swamp.
Oh my god!
That horse and I go back very, very far, and that is a story that I will tell you sometime. When the time is right. But listen, the reason I'm upset in ways as to Dash's potentially unfulfilled demise, I need to learn here. I'm here with a purpose to learn, to educate myself. If his dwiddling little fingers continue to cause havoc while I'm trying to learn, he is a rock in my road.
Eos. One of Dash's downfalls would be how little he reads and learns and educates.
I've never seen him read, actually. Now that you
I'm not
say it.
convinced that he can. But, like, I saw Slate put the things on the wall. I don't think he will.
Yeah.
But what I will give him credit for is that everything he learned on the streets by doing, not by reading. If you live your life in a book, you'll never truly see the world through your own eyes, just the eyes of everybody else. But if you see the world through his vision, his eyes, he has seen the streets, he has seen the people, he has seen suffering and pain that we cannot actually describe or imagine or articulate, nor would he. He walks through life without complaining. He does his best with what he has. Does he need to read a book? Yes. But should he only read books and only learn through classroom education? No. You can only go so far with that. Practical skills speak volumes.
It's so strange. The two of you are polar opposites, yet apparently you come from the same place. Did you have a much nicer, kinder upbringing than his mother, who was a tailor, solicitor, coal miner, Goldfinger, apparently?
Soldier spy.
Where are you from?
When we sit down to talk about you and Ducky and your past, we'll have a long conversation about mine as well. And we'll open some old wounds and drink some of your tea. But for now, I need to
I'll do
go
it.
ridicule Dash and make him feel a little bit smaller and keep that ego in check.
I'm glad you're okay.
She picks up the feather and she hands it to you. Perhaps this was supposed to be in your hands.
First thing on my scales. Thank you.
She slowly walks off, but she doesn't make a big deal out of it as she normally would try and hide or blend into a crowd. She just walks.
I scoot away my slippers.
Shuffle. One falls off slightly, you get water on a sock.
No!
Oh no! Oh, that's cruel.
Curse you!
No, just kill him. Don't put water on his. Oh God,
And then you
no!
step on Lego.
Oh no!
Stop it, he's already dead.
So, in a moment, we're going to wrap our session for today. And we're going to go into our post show and we're going to have a hell of a time breaking down this session because it's a nice place to stop. But we have a little present for our chat today. As they have been slowly released upon Patreon for the last 5 weeks and going on 6 with Westland's release on Monday. On YouTube, they have begun to release. So for members, you can watch all 6 now. But weekly, we will be releasing the videos to our wonderful fans and everybody to see that we've put a lot of love into. So the music for this was all composed and written by our own Mr. Busy, which we super appreciate, and it is so awesome. Give our boy a follow. Socials, if you could put that in chat up above. And they are below on the YouTube videos. And the animations were worked on by Rory and a little bit by myself, but most Mr. Rory. We did a lot of work on that. Keelan, goddammit.
I tried to point to him, but I can't tell with the mirroring where's where. But Rory's next to me.
If you've been watching the post shows, we've talked about this a few times, how much pride we've put into this and how much we care about this and love this project. And each of the boys put their own flavor and spin on it with their vocals and with stuff like that. When you watch them on YouTube, you can choose to use subtitles or not, or experience it however you want. We have everything set up on the YouTube videos, and they'll be published straight after this. So if you're watching this a week later on YouTube, they'll be posted straight after on there. But for the moment on Twitch, we would really love to let you watch this and to share in this with you. And YouTube, of course, you'll see this as well. But it is something that we have put a lot of love into. So for the next 6 weeks, we hope you enjoy that between when we go on breaks, not on breaks, but on our final break, to end this session and to end the YouTube video, but to go into our post show. We will be showing each of the 6 videos so that the world can finally see the love and effort that these boys put in, and I couldn't be more proud. These are amazing, and these are just the beginning of something bigger that we're working on constantly. We're constantly trying to come up with new ideas and things that we want to do. So we really hope you enjoy this. So for those on YouTube, we bid you adieu. We say goodbye, and we hope you enjoy this. And for those who are watching in Twitch, we will see you in just a few minutes for our post show. Say goodbye to YouTube, folks, and the podcast.
Goodbye, YouTube.
Bye, YouTube podcast.
Like and subscribe.
For those listening on the podcast, this will probably just be the end because obviously we can't show you the video. So, but we will see you in just a moment, Twitch. But for now, please enjoy our video titled Meet Amadriana.
Dancing across the rooftops of Verdoir, I make this city my playground, drifting through the gaggles of people in the streets like a wayward breeze. I learn their secrets. Little do they know that as I walk among them, merely a ghost in their periphery, I too carry a secret, one that would be surely the end of me, by myself or by the monster behind.